Webb, and you're listening to the MotoXpod.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Aaron Plessinger, and you guys are listening to the MotoXpod.
Save me from myself. My arms and legs are bound like an aging corpse from another world. I'll scream the truth 6 feet underground. Feel alive inside yourself. Watch your enemies dispel. If I could find a way to avoid this fate, could be a torture.
What's up, everybody? We are back with another Vital MX MotoXpod show presented by Racetech and Yamaha Motor USA. 2 freaking rounds left in the 2025 Monster Energy AMA Supercross season. This thing has gotten exciting in the 250 East. Don't know if we're as excited about the 450 final 2 races, but we're going to find out how the rest of the guys in the studio feel. Great show tonight with Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha's Maximus Vohland getting his first podium this past weekend in Pittsburgh. The 2025 SMX Next National Champion after 1 race, Alexander Fedortsov, is going to join us. Also Club MX. And then team manager for the Liquid Moly Beta Factory team, Carlen Gardner. All going to be on the line tonight. We'll talk about Pittsburgh. We'll talk about Denver coming up. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. Before we get into that, almost always reliable, working the cameras, working YouTube chat. Apparently it's the Scotty Pod. Scotty Thompson, what's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. Just, I guess, glad to be here. It's going to be a lot more banter this week because we have him here.
Him? Who's him? You can.
Yeah,
why don't you do the introduction?
You haven't introduced him yet.
Stay on mic. Go ahead. You do the introduction.
And then sometimes when he's jobless, shows up, TJ here as well.
So that basically makes me like a street bum that just shows up?
Yeah, you're just like the guy that sits outside in the corner, and we're like, let's give him a job.
But
Let's let him whitewash windshields.
Yeah.
I love it when you don't have a job.
I got called a window licker on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I offered somebody like a quarter or what.
Oh, you're one of those?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's how I get all these deals.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're the guy I'm like, F this guy.
It was great. He sent me like this. His reply back to my offer was a picture of a dude licking a window and said, "This is you." I love that.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
It's like a dumbass, basically.
Yeah. Like, can we say the R word now?
No, we're not supposed to.
No.
I thought it was 2025. I thought we brought it back.
Handy-capable? Is that what you're trying to say?
All right. Well, TJ's in studio. Scotty's in studio. We're going to do the Yamaha Motor USA Open Chat. And as you guys know, Yamaha has a reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. The YZ story is over 50 years of iconic machines and groundbreaking innovations. Yamaha took the championship-winning bikes and made them even better because the best don't rest. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com. Go to your local dealership. Look at all that Yamaha has to offer. We saw Yamaha on the top spot of the 450 podium in Pittsburgh. 3rd place with Maximus Vohland in 250 East. They're leading 250 West. Just that reputation for dominance is killing it there, Scotty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like you support them with your shirt and everything.
Well, I mean, they are a title sponsor of our show. And I want to get into us riding a little bit. Or, well, me and TJ riding.
Well, no, we're riding this weekend. I don't know what you're
that is true.
about.
So, all right, we'll get to that in a minute. But I did ride my 450, my YZ 450F this past weekend. And I've kind of said, like, that bike, I'm not super comfortable on that bike. It's a lot. And, I just haven't gelled with it. Sunday was the first time I went out there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have fun riding this bike. I'm going to just have it's going to be cool. And it was super comfortable on it. I'd rode
Mindset.
It really was. It was a mental thing. I just went out there and.
Did you tweak anything or?
No, I left it. I changed the suspension settings the last time I rode it, where I went to 95 or 97 on the sag, raised the rear end like I did on the KTM, and
97 is really stiff.
Well, it's just
stiff, it's
it gets,
high.
it gets
High,
the rear end high, and I like that. Get more weight on the front because that's what I've been struggling with.
Oh, okay.
But I've rode it once like that, and I still wasn't super comfortable. It was better, but this weekend, I don't know, man.
The track
over at Crowded J, the private track.
Oh yeah, so Crowded J is not hard packed.
No,
so.
there was a couple sections that were pretty hard, but most of it was loamy, and I don't know it. I had a blast on my Yamaha.
Yeah.
So you guys should also go get yourself some Yamahas because that reputation for dominance. Who doesn't
We don't
want
get
that?
them for free.
Yamaha invested in
Are you being negative?
No, I never do that.
I hope not.
Yamaha just invested in one of the e-bike, like mid-size e-bike companies.
I heard
can't
that.
remember which one it is.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about
which
that.
is really sad because they picked one of the worst ones.
Well, maybe they're going to make it the best.
I hope
like
so.
Yamaha does.
Yep.
I mean, it's a very anyways, y'all don't care about
Well,
e-bikes.
it's better than your e-bike, I bet.
I doubt it. Actually, it's not. My Talaria with a controller.
No, I meant your homemade one.
Oh, it's definitely not better than that.
Oh, shut up. All right, let's get into the races from Pittsburgh. Cooper Webb, 12-point gap now. Not locked in. Championship's not locked in, but he's made it a lot easier on himself. Scotty, if you put that first question up, I want your guys' thoughts. Was there a point during the race, TJ, or that you thought Cooper's going to fold or break?
There was a point where Chase looked like he was catching him and like just stuck behind him, not like without trying. You know what I'm
Like
talking
it was
about?
easy, you
like,
mean?
Like,
Or-
he was
okay.
like he was
Okay.
just following him, and it
Yes.
looked like he was just right there waiting.
Yep.
And I didn't think that Cooper was going to fold. I honestly thought that Chase was just going to wait until the right moment and just drop the hammer because he just looked faster. Yeah.
He was faster.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Because he would
just-
catch him pretty easy when he did drop back. He was definitely faster. So
Well, I mean, he even not even just was going faster. He looked like he was like way more like settled in than what he normally does. You know,
Yeah.
like he wasn't pushing. It was able to run that pace. So yeah, at that point, which I would say what was at the first quarter of the when they got away, I really thought, Chase is going to win.
Scotty, what were your thoughts throughout the main?
Yeah, kind of similar. I thought that Chase would get him, but I didn't think it would be because Cooper broke. Chase was going to have to go make a move and pass him and then hold him off because Coop is really good about hanging on to a rider after he gets passed and then passing back. He's done that to Chase a couple times this year. So I was thinking that Chase was going to get him at the beginning of the race, but about that 7-8 minute mark left, I was like, I don't think he's going to get him.
Okay.
I thought I kept wanting to and had hopes and thought that he was going to get close, but he was going to have to do something. I think out of the box or over the line of comfortability to get him. It wasn't going to be because Cooper broke.
So when I say break, I don't mean mentally broke or
Make a mistake.
yeah,
or,
I just mean break him as in get by, and then I don't think Cooper was going to catch him again if Chase got.
okay.
I agree
I
with
guess
you.
that's kind of more what I meant, and
Okay.
I did feel like Chase would get him because he really, when he went off the track and then caught right back up, I was like, oh man, yeah, like I know they kept saying it was hard to pass, but when you're that much quicker, I thought he would make it happen. Like that elevated turn that they kind of kept pointing out where Cooper was kind of just tiptoeing through, and Chase was cutting down in one rut inside of where Cooper was. That was a good spot where he could have jumped inside when Cooper was up on the, making the pivot, taking that line away. That's kind of what I thought. Or if he had kept blitzing the whoops, those were the two spots where I think, oh, he's going to get him. But yeah, so I was a little surprised. Not that I thought Cooper was going to break, but Chase was better in my opinion that night. But this shows what we always talk about with Cooper is that mental strength and what he's so good at.
I think he's proved that this year more than years past. I think he's really stamped himself as probably like just the grittiest gamerist rider that we've ever seen.
Gamerist.
I made up a word.
That's as good as what was the word he used earlier before we started?
Yeah, I don't make fun of TJ.
Immaculate. That was an immaculate ride by Cooper Webb.
Handsome Gunner.
Is that my son?
It
think so.
said that
Probably.
he's faster than you on his Metal Militia pit bike, I guess, and that
Shut up,
say
Gunner.
hi to Hendrick.
That's my son. I'm my granddaughter. My favorite granddaughter,
Yeah.
Hendrix. I love her.
Well,
I love you too, Gunner.
He gave us $15, so thanks for the pizza tonight, Gunner.
Gunner gave $15.
Yeah,
he didn't
he
have any money.
Well,
He gave you 10 and 5.
There you go.
Hey, well, you gave Vital MX that money. Gunner, bring
Yeah.
that to my house. Take
Yeah.
it back and bring it tomorrow in cash. Yeah. So Chase Sexton, were you surprised that he went away from the blitz line that was clearly better? Now I don't know if you guys heard the press conference things and the post
a little bit, yeah.
and why he chose to do that, but it was a little surprising for him to say it was hard physically, really, to keep that up. Kind of surprised me because we know how stout Chase is and where he is. Like, just to be, he switched it up like halfway. It's surprising that would be that much harder.
Did you see how the whoops? Like, did you actually like look really close at how the whoops were developing?
Oh yeah, they were built different.
Like
they're farther apart. Yeah,
it wasn't even just that. Like the faces were like almost a step.
Okay,
like where the guys that were blitzing them and you had to really get on top and really commit. And I think once he mentally thought, I'm not going to catch him, and he's jumping, or maybe I'm right there with him and he's jumping, I could jump as fast as what he's doing, kind of a deal. I think that was more of it. Like, because I don't think it was. Like,
he did kind of say that. Like, if he could be close jumping, speed wise, that was better because it wasn't as tiring and difficult. But then you have guys like listening to Steve Mathis talk on the race review, the review show. Guys like Ferrandis were blitzing the whole time, which that's. You think if Ferrandis can do it, Chase certainly can.
Yeah, but they're not fighting for a championship, first of all.
But don't you think that's why Chase should have kept doing it? Is because
but think about like how much like they're battling for a championship on every part of the track, and they're giving they are being as perfect as they can be on everywhere else on the track. That maybe he had to save to be able to do that on the rest of the track. He had to sacrifice some of his strength there. Okay. Like if not getting nothing against Ferrandis and Undine Wilson, like they enjoyed doing or liked doing the whoops faster, but they probably weren't pushing on the rest of the track as hard as Chase and Cooper were.
Didn't look that much faster than me. Like watching him blitz, like he wasn't.
Chase is not a jumper, and it just he had to jump, and it just wasn't his strength.
I felt like it looked a lot faster. Personally,
I don't think he was ever going to pass him there.
Segment
is what I was talking about. Like it wasn't like he was going to.
He wouldn't have passed him there, but he could have set him up in that split lane that came next, because that split lane was really good for passing and setting the tone of that
inside rut. On the outside, you went to the leading? Outside to the inside, that tight rut, like everybody kept going inside,
except for Justin Cooper.
And then,
he had that spot dialed.
Yeah, he did.
Well, everybody kept going the outside, but they kept going inside real tight. Yeah. And that berm had a beautiful rut that I watched a couple guys who were like when they went back to the back pad of battling, looked so much faster and smoother.
Well, that's what I said. Justin Cooper was going all the way outside.
But but that was a different line. I'm talking about the other line.
Yeah, Chase never took that once.
The real tight right-hander back onto the start straight.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it looked like that was down to the plywood.
Yeah,
might have been. 2 to go. Do either of you? What are the odds? Like, what are the chances? How high are the chances that Chase could pull this thing off? And does he get aggressive if the opportunity is there in the final 2? I say no. I think. Like, he might bump him, but he's not sawing off a front wheel. I just don't think Chase races that way.
No, I'm with you.
I think, unfortunately, I think we're at the point where, barring a bike issue, that's pretty much it. Because I think even if Coop goes down at the start or something, I think he still gets like third.
Yeah. I think there's almost no way he finishes worse than third unless a catastrophe happens.
He'd have to wreck like 3 times, and I don't think he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Chase has. I know there's no team tactics technically, but Chase has. What's it called? AP and
AP's like really tight with Cooper. Yeah. He's staying out of it.
No, I don't mean as far as them. Like I said, not team tactics, but what I'm getting at is AP and Stewart. Like those guys, and even maybe Barsh is out. So, but AP and Stewart could get in there and push him back to 4th.
Well, we already know that Justin Cooper's winning the final race. I've already stamped that.
So that could push him back to 5th.
Allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like there's a chance.
Yeah, but then at that point you start getting 1 point gaps between third and fourth. I think so.
The reason why I brought up the thing earlier about the whoops with the championship thing is it's crazy to me. Like after watching the heat races, I really thought that AP and Cooper were going to play a big part of this. I was like, oh, like the way this track sets up, like they all have the speed, like they're going to run with those guys. and this could potentially get very interesting. But then as soon as points were on the line, boom, there's Chase and Webb, and nobody touched him.
Isn't that kind of normal for our?
I know, but I really thought that it was after the heat races. I really thought Cooper and AP were going to play a big role in some of the points.
I definitely thought Justin would,
and that didn't happen at all.
Honestly, early in the race, I thought Justin might be able to catch Chase.
That he never got. And he was like 20 seconds back.
Yeah, it just
didn't. That when the points are on the line and championship battles on the line, man, it's just a different level.
It's gonna be different in Salt Lake City, though, I'm telling you.
Well, because it'll be pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much that's all. That's really all Cooper had to do, and he knew he's an opportunist. He's a gamer, like we said 1,000 times. When it's time, when he knew that his biggest advantage and chance to win was at this ruddy track in Pittsburgh with kind of a little bit of weather affected, tight corners, he knew he had to win, and he did just that. So
you guys feel 99% somewhere in
I
that
don't know
area.
about 99%,
okay.
but like a bar
pretty high.
Oh yeah, I stamped it. Like, give him the trophy.
I don't. Yeah, I mean anything can happen.
All right.
I mean look at a couple years ago.
Let's move then to 250 East. 250 West is pretty well set. 250 East flipped all over the place this weekend. It went from Hamaker leading, RJ Hampshire being down 3 points and Vial down 7 points to one race later, Vial leading the points. Now Hamaker's a -1, RJ's -3. This is literally in the 250 East, winners take all in Salt Lake City. How do you foresee this going, Scotty? First of all, Vial gets his first win of the season.
When he needed
which
it the
we
most.
didn't really. I think I had gotten to the point where I thought he's not going to get a win. He got it done.
Mm-hmm.
One to go. And it's a showdown, so the West will be mixed in with the East.
I don't know why, but I think RJ is going to pull something out. So like,
Okay.
if RJ has to win, like he has to win the race, basically. Like I mean, I know it could play out to where if he's like second and they're like fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
But essentially, his best bet is to win the race. If he wins the race, he wins the championship. Like no matter what. Yeah.
No, because he's 3 down.
No, it's three.
Yeah, it's 3-point gap. Yeah.
So would he win on ties with?
No, because it depends on who gets second. Because
It would depend. Yeah,
if
because
Hamaker gets second,
Yep.
then Hamaker wins.
Hamaker would win. Yeah, and Hamaker. Yeah, and
Right.
even if they tie in points, Hamaker has more wins than RJ.
No, because
Wait, how far back
No.
down is Hamaker right now?
1 behind Vial and RJ's 3 behind. So there's
Yeah, so if
2 points between Hamaker
yeah,
and RJ. 2 points.
it go to
yeah,
tie.
yeah. So no, but if he got first, he would have a 3-point gap, even if Hamaker got second, and that would be
But he's 2 points behind. So I
Yeah.
think they tie.
no. There's these 2 points behind. If he wins the race, he gets a 3-point advantage to anybody who gets second. So he would automatically win the championship.
But he's already 2 behind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think your math is right.
Yeah, I know I'm right.
I think your math is right.
I don't know what the hell y'all are
so
smoking.
regardless,
But
I'm trying to do math in my head. I'm texting Vohland.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm blaming it on.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm taking Hamaker.
He gets 25 points. The second place gets 22. He's 3 back.
Yes.
He's only 2 back of Hamaker. If even Hamaker gets second place, that gives him a
Okay.
1-point championship win.
TJ, what are your predictions?
He's trying to prove me wrong, even though he can't.
It's really hot in here.
Yeah, the air finally came
That's
on.
what it feels like when you're wrong.
What is your predictions?
As either Seth or Vial win.
Here's the thing. Davies is going to win the showdown anyway.
Oh, I'm just talking
That's a good
about, I'm
point.
talking about the win.
See, I know. So that takes out. I think that takes out.
Deegs will win.
Or Deegs, or I don't think Deegs will. I think Deegs going. He's got the championship locked. He's gonna not do anything stupid.
I think Deegs wants to win because has he
Well,
won?
he wants to.
Has
but
he won the shootouts yet? Overall,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
not this year.
That's what I'm getting at. I think he wants.
I'm
that.
sure he wants to, but title's number 1. So I think he's gonna be, unless he just gets out front. I think he's gonna play it smart. I think Davies wins. Hamaker wins the title in the East. That's my prediction. But what did you say, TJ?
I said it's either gonna be Vial or Hamaker.
It's
It's gonna be exciting.
I want
Salt Lake-
Vial to
I can't
win.
wait for Salt Lake City. Like, I'm going to Denver this weekend. It's going to be fun, but the finals is really where it's at.
I want Vial or Hamaker to win.
Okay.
Because
Why do you hate RJ?
Well, because he's like 42 years old and still in that class.
Oh God, here we go.
He can be.
I know that I don't like that. So, and nothing to do with him personally.
Well, clearly it does. Clearly it does.
I think for some, I don't know why, but I think RJ's going to get it.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to win the race.
Next
Finally
week, in
get
next
him.
week's show, we'll make our championship predictions, our showdown predictions, and all that good stuff. We'll do that. Got a few more things I want to get to. Got about 10 minutes before we get Maximus Vohland on. I'm trying to decide. We'll talk about Vohland's first podium. Good job for him when he comes on. We talked about Justin Cooper a little bit, but we need to do our ProX. Let's do this real fast. Let's do ProX Vital MX Fantasy update, and then if we have time, we'll get into our riding and a couple things I want to talk about with that before we get Max on. ProX is rooted in racing from motocross to off-road and supporting teams such as Ampro Yamaha, Pro Circuit Kawasaki, and SLR Honda. They have been supplying quality components for almost 50 years, from complex jobs like an engine rebuild to simple maintenance, including filters, chains, and sprockets. ProX aims to bridge the gap between OE quality and affordability. Find ProX at your local dealer or visit pro-x.com and search for parts for your bike. Thanks to ProX for supporting this show, the MXGP podcast that our guy Lewis Phillips does. Really appreciate ProX being on board with us. Okay, Vital MX fantasy score for Pittsburgh. I got 59th place. I'm pretty damn happy with that. With 100 in the MotoXpod League.
Okay.
119 points. Very quickly, what'd you get? Because
104.
So, all right, I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 riders,
I did 6.
and all of them got me double-digit points, except for our friend Benny Bloss, who was last. Got me 0.
Poor Benny.
Poor Benny. But if Benny had finished like he normally would, man, I might have won. I don't know. Could have won. But then maybe the other guys had Benny too. So I'm pretty happy. This is a good week for me in the Vital MX Fantasy. Guys, you should go to vitalmx.com, sign up for the fantasy game, get in the MotoXpod League. It is free. Also, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. TJ?
I'm so terrible at fantasy. Like whenever
you suck.
when fantasy first started, I was so good at it. Now it's like I won one year, multiple races and was in the top whatever for one of the fantasies. I got prizes at the end of the year for 2 years in a row. And now I don't know what's happened.
Well, you hate racing. We've already decided that.
I love racing.
You hate professional racing.
I love professional racing. I watch it every weekend.
Yeah, but you don't really want to.
I don't want to go to it. That's true.
Okay, so that's the Vital MX ProX recap, fantasy recap. I also want to give a mention to Australian Joel Evans, who passed away this past weekend racing. I mean, last week we talked about Jerry Robin, and he got paralyzed. Kaya Reed, had compression fractures in her vertebrae that last week. There's been a lot of really serious injuries. Kaya's doing well. Jerry flew home today, so that's good. But then now we have a rider pass away. So prayers, thoughts to Joel Evans. I've never met Joel, don't know anything about Joel, but everything I hear, he's a great guy. Like the industry, especially over in Australia. With all
was it like a practice deal?
No, I think he was racing. Yeah. It happened at a race from my understanding.
Yeah.
Really, really sad. So thoughts and prayers to his family. We know it's a dangerous sport. It can be scary. And that actually kind of makes me want to lead into, again, we only got 5 minutes before Max on, but the discussion of neck braces. So I recently did a story on Atlas and talked to Brady, who designed the very first Atlas neck brace. He sent me their new Vision neck brace, which is really... It's real low profile. It's not like the one, it doesn't sit up. It doesn't have the risers. And I've been testing it, and I really didn't want to wear it because I'm like, I just don't want to wear it, right? It's like I have that thing in my head, it's maybe uncomfortable or it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cuts back on your range of motion is what everybody wants to say, right? But it doesn't. I like it. I forget it's there. I think I'm going to start wearing it regularly. And the Vision, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't have the little platforms or the risers that go in your front and your back. It's just basically like a collar.
Yeah.
And it's designed to prevent or help reduce the compression forces.
Yeah.
Which is what does all the damage to your vertebrae, explodes vertebrae.
Right.
And through the history of this, where you get the little shards of bone that get into your spine. So I've been testing it. I'm going to actually write a review of it on Vital MX, probably go up tomorrow. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on neck braces. Like, they disappeared. They weren't that good in the beginning. Do you think there's something that we should take another look at, or maybe reevaluate the thought process on neck braces?
Yes, I rode with one forever, and then I've got a new chest protector that didn't work with the neck brace that I was wearing. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of got away from it, and I saw that little one that you have that's like so much more compact,
real low profile, basically.
Real low profile, yeah. And like I do want to go back to wearing one. Somebody had said something that they attributed to like Joe Montana, and I don't know if this is true, but they said if they make a pad for safety, I'm going to wear it. Like, and it was always attributed to Joe Montana for some reason.
Crazy. I'm a huge Niners fan. I don't remember ever hearing him say that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't the case.
But wasn't he the Dolphins?
No, that was Dan Marino.
Oh, I don't know. Joe Montana, that's who I'm thinking.
Joe Montana?
Yeah, water boy.
But on a serious note, I wear chest protector, I wear knee braces, I wear all the gear when I'm riding my big bike. But when I ride pit bikes, I wear tennis shoes and a helmet. You know what I'm talking about, and gloves. I'm
out on that.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
I literally wear tennis shoes and a helmet and gloves. That's it. So I guess what I'm getting at is, yes.
You know what I'm laughing at?
Well, is it the TJ pod now? Or like
No, it's just nothing. I'll tell you.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings that I was talking on a talk show.
Yeah,
that's what he always says. Yeah. I was laughing at tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes.
I don't let little vain things like that bother me.
Yeah.
They're vain?
Yeah, that's pretty vain.
I just like making fun of my
front.
Oh, you like doing what?
I love making fun of my fence.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Pot cons.
Do you have a thought on neck braces and
bated breath? We're waiting.
Shit, we're out of time. We got to get Max.
I don't wear one. I've tried one on. They're just too uncomfortable for me.
Okay. In what way? Like,
I don't know.
Do you remember which ones you wore? Like how long ago?
No, I don't remember. I've tried some on. I'm pretty small, so they just.
Well, we could get you a youth one, a child one.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't find them comfortable. I like being able to move around, but I do. Our buddy Spencer, like he will not ride with that one. Like he'll drive. Like if we drove 4 hours to ride and he forgot his neck brace, he won't ride that day. I think it's just whatever makes you feel comfortable. Now there probably is some research and stuff to it, and there's probably some proof to wearing one. I choose not. Actually, I choose not to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because I don't think it is. I've just never worn one. I mean, there's no guarantees in life. So that's kind of why.
But it's sort of like the seatbelt. So we were talking about this when I did the interview on Vital with Brady recently, and he's like, it's kind of like the seatbelt, right? The law. Many years ago, nobody wore seatbelts, and then they put the law into effect, and you still have those people that go, I feel safer without the seatbelt. I know people that had an accident, and they only lived because they weren't wearing the seatbelt because it ejected them. Is that like 0.0001% of people?
It's like when people were talking about like they break collarbones, and me being somebody who's broken a collarbone, they don't break because something hits them from the external force. They break from you putting your arm out, and actually, like people video can't see, but it's a side loading force is what actually breaks your collarbone.
First of all, I'd much rather break my collarbone than my freaking neck.
Yeah, fair enough. But anyways, and so it's like you're saying, somebody broke a collarbone when they had it on, and they're like, it was done from this.
And there's zero scientific data that says they contribute to broken collarbones.
They don't.
There is a lot of data that says they will protect your spine and your neck.
But then there's also like what happened to Jerry, where with the stuff that he broke, the neck brace probably wouldn't have helped because it was so far down his back. What broke?
Yeah, maybe.
When you look at T5, T6, T7, that is below your shoulder blades. So it can help with certain wrecks, just like a helmet can help you from not, we wear wrist braces. That'll help us from hyperextending our wrists and maybe not break it, but you can still break your arm.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you're just moving the load somewhere else.
I'm just a soul rider. I just wear a chest protector and that's it.
Yeah, and I disagree with you on the lack of movement. I think if you put one on and actually,
Maybe I need to try. I probably need to
motos,
try it again. But I'm also I'm a soul rider. I ride what I can get, and
Yeah.
that's pretty expensive, and I don't have to have it to ride. Like
Sure.
it's not like I have a good helmet. Thank you, by the way. I've got
got a good gear bag.
boots.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, by the way. I've got actually I don't have the gear. I can't fit into the gear you got me. But anyways, when I'm talking about that,
Is that because you're pregnant?
yeah. Anyways, so I just I probably need to look into it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have anything
I
against
could
them.
loan you one and let you see what you think if you just tried it for a
Yeah,
little bit.
I might do that.
I really feel like a lot of the popularity went away because the pro riders quit wearing them.
Well, Doc, for a long time, he wore a wrist brace, he wore a neck brace, he wore all this stuff because we kind of made him, and he was fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he got faster, he's like, "Well, I just feel more free on the bike with it." And I'm like, "What? At what cost, though?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's sitting there. He has surgery tomorrow, taking pins out of his wrist that could have 100% have been, what do you call it? If he would have prevented if he kept his wrist brace on.
Sure. Well, we'll talk to our next guest about this maybe.
Because he knows him.
Huh?
Because they're like,
Yeah, but they don't like you. Well, our guest doesn't like your son at all, but let's introduce him real quick. Our next guest is brought to you by Yamaha Motor USA, just like the opening chat. A reputation for dominance. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over decades. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com or go to your local dealership. Tonight, Yamaha brings us from the Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, our buddy, Maximus Vohland. What's up, Max?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, let's just get this all out of the way. Would you just tell TJ what you told me, that Doc's a real pain in your ass?
Doc pain in my ass?
Yeah, he's a pain in your ass, right? He just drives you crazy. You're not really friends.
I mean, sometimes he sucks at the video games, and then yeah. But besides that, Doc's good. We like Doc.
He's a lot better than his dad. Actually, his dad's the one that's the pain in the ass. He's sitting across from me, but. Max, man, congratulations on your first career podium, dude. Like a few days later, it's got to feel like a win almost at this point.
Yeah, it really was, to be honest. For me, it felt like a win. And then also just for the team and everything and achieving that with a handbrake too, that was, that's a victory within itself. And, just kind of paving the way for, a new way to get it done.
Yeah, and I know at this point, I'm wondering if the discussion on the handbrake is, you're like tired of hearing about it, but it is so significant because, that's why I brought it up in the press conference. These two guys probably didn't listen. Just so you two know, I asked RJ and Vial, I asked the guys on the podium, like, do you think you could not adjust quickly to wearing using a handbrake? And it was not RJ. Why am I blanking? Thrasher. Jesus, I suck at this job, Max. But I asked those guys. I really wanted to get some hype to Max, right? Like what kind of talent it takes to do that, to change something you've done your whole life at the highest level. And their responses were pretty interesting. But it really needs to be made a point how difficult it has to be.
It's like, I like the handbrake better. I have it on my electric bike, and I like the handbrake better. I don't have a clutch to deal with.
Yeah.
But the handbrake to me is, like I said, I enjoy it better, but there's no clutch also. I can't imagine how to do that.
But yeah, Max, it wasn't that long ago where you were wondering if you were going to be able to keep racing, and you came real close from what you told me. So now 6 months, 8 months later, you have to feel like, all right, we're back.
Yeah, more back than ever because I've never even hit the podium until now. So I still feel like I've got a lot of room to grow, and I'm definitely nowhere near my peak. But yeah, it is crazy to think that just in the short amount of time that I've been riding from the injury and dealing with the injury, that I was able to get my career best finish, this year, actually. I'd assume maybe it would have been next year or even later down the road.
Yes, because when we think about what you've been through in the last year, you left KTM, who you'd been with for a long time, your whole pro career, 2 races at Pro Circuit Kawasaki, didn't work. You got hurt, didn't work out. You didn't go back. You moved to Club MX, moved your whole life from the West Coast to the East Coast. You get injured. Holy shit, dude. Like what you've been through in the last year, and even if you look at your whole career, it could mentally beat a lot of people down.
Yeah. I mean, it was mentally, especially through the injury, it was so tough, and just, yeah, I mean, so many bad days that, and, a lot of days I don't even remember too, just because of all the drugs and stuff that I was on. So 24 was just hell. And then to flip it a complete 180 degrees to now is like, yeah, I mean, even with my riding recently, I feel like I've been able to do what I did over the weekend. Just starts have kind of hindered me. And then finally, once I figured out the starts, it was like, it all came together, and it just ended up, I like the track, and it was a good layout, and just kind of felt good all day from the first time I got on the track.
Do you know what specifically felt so good? Because when you look at your results, qualifying third, almost whole shot in the heat race. RJ kind of stole it from you a little bit. You went a little deep in the corner, and then led some laps. Like what specifically felt so good about Pittsburgh?
I don't know. I kind of, when I showed up, it was just one of those things where I was still kind of mad about the weekend before, where I started dead last and had to come back to the pack and get sixth. And I'm like, I just got to the point where I just got tired of doing that. And I kind of just showed up, and I'm like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to hit triples first lap. I'm going to skim the whoops as long as I can, as much as I can. I really went out there kind of in the send it mindset, where it's like, if I go down, I'm going to get back up kind of attitude. So I really just rode fearless and just kind of just showed up, really decided like, whatever happens, I'm going to give it my all. And, risk or not, I don't care. I'm going to go try and do my best. And yeah, it ended up giving me my best result. So.
Yeah, Max, with with all the changes and stuff that you've had to go through and the handbrake, it's, it's easy for people to talk about like the negative side, like, oh, he has to overcome this and stuff. But I was interested to hear, what is something that's positive about the handbrake, something that is an advantage of it in a certain way, if there is one?
Well, I feel like in right-handed starts, like a right-handed start corner, I can get my foot out a lot earlier than the other guys and be braking while turning right. So that's maybe one advantage I have, and that goes for maybe some flat. I feel like the bold turns doesn't really matter. We don't really use our brakes in the bold turns anyways, but like flat turns, I feel like maybe I have an advantage when it comes to right-handers. Like maybe, I don't know if it was this weekend, this weekend with the split lane, like that tight right inside, like maybe I have more control there over the guys. I'm not sure. I can't imagine, because I don't know, just riding with the handbrake for me now feels normal. So I feel like I'd be doing all the same things with a regular brake if I was, still on the regular platform. So I'm not sure if it's an advantage, but
has it gotten to where it's like second nature? Like it's just not in your subconscious that you do it, and like you don't actively have to think about using your hand instead of your foot?
Yeah, no, it's full muscle memory. It riding with it now with the clutch and brake is like just riding normal for me at this point. Like I can't even think about riding with a regular foot brake anymore, because it's just, I've ridden with this now for so many laps and got so used to it that like when I hop on the bike, this is what I expect, so.
Yeah.
Well, all that's pretty cool, but Josh Muth did all his riding at the end of his riding stuff with one leg. So you still have your leg over there. No,
Jesus.
But seriously, I heard something about the starts where you were dragging your foot or whatever. What can you give us like more on that? Elaborate on that.
Yeah, so that was one thing I noticed from the weekend before on my main event start, was I snagged my right foot under my foot peg and pretty much ran it over and dragged it behind me. And I don't ever remember doing that at all. And then it kind of clicked, like maybe I've been doing this and I just haven't noticed until now, because of not having really pretty much any feeling in my foot with the nerves and whatnot. I didn't know that I was doing that. I honestly thought I was just clicked up a gear too early, too soon. My bike was dragging, but it was really my foot dragging on the ground like an anchor. So we went to some small blocks. So now this past weekend that obviously worked, even in the qualifying, like the practice start, I started third or second or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny with somebody your height having to use blocks, you know?
Yeah, I mean they're tiny. They're
Right.
literally the top of a block, but completely cut off. So it's just like an inch off the ground, just enough for my right foot not to drag, because I can't pick my right foot up. So when the gate drops, my foot just stays the same, and it sometimes snags the grate, sometimes snags the gate or the dirt afterwards. So we just now we're running blocks to avoid that.
Wow.
Are you doing anything different with your boot on that side to like keep your foot in the like perfect position where you don't have to worry about it?
No, I just wear it normal. Cool. I actually, the only different thing I do is I have to wear a plastic bag over my foot to even get it in the boot. Otherwise my toes will just curl up. But that's not the only thing different on my right side. And then I still put the mountain bike tires on my boots.
Wow.
Makes me feel like a real wimp. Like there's no way I'm hitting a triple or anything, and I can use my foot. So it's like, power to you, Max. That's freaking crazy, man.
Even like in corners, right? You're taught to weight your outside peg. Like, can you feel that you're putting pressure just through your leg, not your foot? I mean, can you feel that you're doing that? Or
I can't. No, I can't see that. That was the whole reason to go to the handbrake, because you wear a new pair of boots, you can't feel your foot pegs anyways. But I've always been a huge feel guy when it comes to my boots and just feeling where my feet are. So yeah, I really can't feel where I'm putting pressure at on my foot. It's just all of it now after riding so much is just muscle memory with my leg placement. It's literally just all my brain doing it subconsciously. So yeah, I really don't know where my foot's at. When I first started riding, my positioning was quite bad. I was pretty duck-footed on that side, and I had to ride more in the middle of my foot because my ankle couldn't flex that much yet.
Yeah.
When I first started, but now, yeah, it's gotten some strength built in the ankle, and the knee's gotten stronger, and all the muscles around there are getting slightly stronger as the days go on. But yeah, it was definitely bad at first.
I got one more question that relates to the injury, and then we'll move past it. And I'm just wondering, we talked about the almost feeling like you might have to quit, almost being done. The mental side of that, the depression, the frustrations, what am I going to do next? I have to imagine those things go through your mind. How did you battle through that and continue? Like, was that discussions with your dad, other people? What got you through that dark period?
I don't know. I think a lot of it was just, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, because there was days there where it's like, yeah, I never thought it was going to end, and yeah, I wasn't really talking much with my dad or really anyone. It was just kind of myself. It felt like, and honestly, I played video games just to distract myself from reality of what was going on. So I definitely did a lot of that during my injury, and yeah, eventually once I got off all the painkillers and stuff and got through that whole down, then things started getting better. And then I started training, and honestly, a lot of it was just my physical therapy that I was going to. I had a nice physical therapist. He was working with me good, and that was kind of just, I did that twice a week, and that was just what I looked forward to. That was like my thing. Okay, I do, this twice a week, and just slowly building and just working is honestly just kind of distracting myself from it all. And eventually I got good enough to get back on the bike, and now I've, made it to here. So it was kind of just never really talked it out, but just kind of grinded it out.
Yeah, dude, I like hearing that. That's great. Maximus Vohland brought to you tonight by Yamaha Motor USA. Let's do some positive stuff now. Again, first podium, ran up front for a bit. Probably a little eye-opening and a little beneficial, well, very beneficial to run that pace, which you really haven't had the opportunity to do for a while. We always talk about, like, you need to run that pace and see it to really know what it's like, and it should be easier now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just achieving the podium, that's like, in my head, it was like, that was such a hard wall to get over for me, because I've been trying to get there for so many years now, and so many days training and everything that's gone into it. It's like, now that I've broke that wall down and taken that next step to winning a race, it feels like just even now I just feel way more relaxed and a lot less pressure, and just on myself, and just, yeah, it really just was like a breakthrough. Like I finally got there. And when it came to racing that pace, like honestly, in the beginning of the race, I was faster than Tom and was trying to make a pass on him for 6 laps there. And I felt like I was like at that point in the race before we started getting into lappers, I'm like, dude, I could win this thing. But then, yeah, the lappers was just so bad. They're always a group of 2 and they're just racing each other, and I couldn't get around them. And I kept getting the short end of the stick when it came to the lappers. And then he kind of got away from me, and which let RJ catch me. RJ then passed me, and I just had to try and, toe into RJ and just stayed with RJ as long as I could. And then, then he got a bad end of the stick on the lappers and went down.
Hey, good for you, man. I was stoked because I was like looking forward to the press conference. I already had that question in the back of my mind if you got on the podium. So when RJ went by, I was like, damn it, RJ, you're screwing up my press conference questions. So yeah, I was glad that you got by, man. Because
you have little faith.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, okay, mate, you might be right. You might be right.
Plenty of faith in RJ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, did you have one, Scott? TJ?
It wasn't about the racing so much. I was going to ask about, you have always kind of been a West Coast kid, and then now you're out east. Tell me a few good things and bad things about being out in the East Coast.
Yeah, well, growing up in the West Coast, I still call California home. But yeah, I mean, I did train at Alden's for a year or 2.
Right.
So I've been on the East Coast. This is full time where I've just legit fully moved, because I've always had a place in California, but now I'm full moved out here, and it's good, honestly. I mean, the facility is awesome. The tracks are great. The only thing is sometimes you get tired of hearing dirt bikes, 24/7 every day. But besides that, it's been good for me, obviously. And yeah, we're just out in the middle of nowhere, really. That's the only downside. There's really nothing to do besides ride your dirt bike. So, I mean, if you want to get better at riding and obviously get good results like I did this last weekend, club's a great facility for that. And I like the East Coast. It's not bad. The only thing is summer's going to be a sufferfest for sure in the heat.
Yeah, Max, not only is the facility great, but I think that for what you're trying to accomplish, the Club MX team itself is great. And I know that they're willing to work and do stuff on the bike that maybe some factory teams wouldn't do, and just kind of talk about your experience with them and like what y'all have been able to accomplish working together.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's weird to think, but sometimes I feel like the whole injury and everything and running the handbrake is something that, I was meant to do, because there's no other way I could be on any other team and would have made it this far. So the way that it worked out with them giving me an opportunity at that time when I was probably at my lowest and at my worst was, it's just meant to be, because I honestly don't think it would have worked anywhere else. No one would have worked with me as good as they did, and would have been willing to do what I wanted to do with the bike to, make myself comfortable to even get back to a high level of riding. And I'm super grateful and thankful that they that Brandon is such a good guy. And then even with the program and everything, just working on gratitude every day and just, small life things that you don't really think about until someone, brings it to you and plants a seed in your head to make it happen. And yeah, I can't believe that it all panned out the way it did, and that I've ended up here. And yeah, I'm just grateful that I'm here. The facility's awesome. I love it.
It's an amazing facility. I was there a couple of weeks ago for Camp Blue Crew, while you guys were in East Rutherford, I believe. And I've been there a couple of times, and yeah, losing or not really getting the opportunity you should have gotten at Pro Circuit, I'm sure that hurt. And I'm sure when you left there, again, that probably felt like the end of the world almost. But yeah, I think in the end, getting out of California, stepping back, having a chance to take a deep breath, and then realizing that what club has to offer, I agree. I think it was probably the best thing for your career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even when I was first started riding, I couldn't believe that they would even give me the opportunity that they did. And yeah, it really was the perfect match, and it's worked out so well up to now. And yeah, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. We're just going to try and keep the ball rolling with the momentum that I've got.
Yeah, and I think you're still very capable of a win. We saw that this weekend. It's coming. Maybe it might take another year, kind of getting comfortable, getting your strength back and everything. But man, I'm looking forward to your future there. Let's talk about outdoors a little bit. I heard you started riding outdoors last week, I think, and leading up to Pittsburgh. How's that going? And is that something you're concerned about with the injury? Will it affect you any differently than it does with Supercross?
I don't think so. Outdoors, I just got one legit day of riding. So it's just started, and then I'll be on outdoors all week, and then I'll ride on the weekend here as well. And then maybe one more day next week, and then hop back on Supercross for a day before Salt Lake. But yeah, honestly, I rode a lot of outdoors when I first got back here because I wasn't going to immediately hop on Supercross. So I at least got to do some testing at the beginning of the off season to get the bike somewhat more set up for me. So I've got a pretty decent base to start with when it comes to testing with the bike, but I also was a lot slower then. So I believe I believe I need to get a little bit stiffer because I made the bike so soft then, and now I'm going probably 10 times faster than I was. So probably, just some small clicks here and there. And we got a bunch of stuff to try tomorrow. Tomorrow's like my first big test day. So
okay.
I mean, obviously I've been an outdoor guy, so we'll see where it goes.
on the front track, are we quadding into the rollers? The Cody Shock line?
I don't think I'm trying to think where the rollers. Oh yeah,
after the step up. After the step up, left, right, left.
Yep. I don't even think I've tried that.
Okay.
I haven't even ridden the main track. Oh, I did ride it one day actually, and I crashed on it. But no, I haven't done that line yet.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was.
I think it was Devin Simonson. I don't remember when I was out there. I was like, yeah, Cody's quadding in. I was like, no way. It's just crazy. But that track is so fun.
Yeah, that track is really fun. It's got a good flow, and it's got good different dirt to it too.
Yeah.
We got sand, clay, and ruts, everything on that track.
For sure.
Max, when it comes to the podium this weekend, the elation that you had to feel after finally getting that achievement, it had to have been surreal. And how much of it do you feel was just based off the progress that you made for this season? Was it just a meshing with the track and kind of track induced? And what do you take from it to replicate this again?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, when I crossed the finish line, I was pretty stoked, but I wasn't surprised. I felt like I should have maybe done it a lot sooner than that. But I was definitely stoked on just getting it over with and finally achieving it. And then really the only thing that made the difference this weekend and other weekends was my starts and mainly it was the mindset just going into the race and just kind of not accepting, a bad result or crummy riding. I just told myself before I rode that I'm like, I'm going to ride my absolute best no matter what happens. So it was really, really just mindset that went into the weekend that I can take from now. And also just take the confidence from getting that result and running with the front guys and battling RJ and Tom and the guys that have won races and just take that into the next rounds and then into outdoors.
Nice.
So with all this racing and going to the tracks, I know you spend a lot of time on the sim stuff, and there is some of some guys, pro guys that make the I guess the Wednesday night pro races. How far? First question is, how far off is your time from making it to the pro side of sim?
I'm not really sure. I haven't grinded sim in a while, but I feel like at least the top sim guys I've played with, I'm usually about 4 seconds off. So yeah, I'm probably got some room to make it in the Wednesday nights, but I'm definitely on the tracks Wednesday night when it releases just to get the feel of the layout before I go race.
Well, that's what my next question was. I've heard some of the guys that race sim also talk about how it actually does give them they feel like some little bit of advantage, at least knowing the layout of the track. And you obviously find that to be true also?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, you get, and they replicate the stadiums and everything too. So you kind of get a feel for it and all the corners are in the same spots where they usually are. And sometimes I've even pulled rhythms in the game and like, oh, that might be doable in real life. And that end up being the main line. So yeah, it definitely helps with just kind of figuring out the layout and knowing where the turns are. And it makes it easier to learn the track on the first lap when you go out there and send it in free practice.
So are you first person or third person?
I'm third person.
Okay.
I like to be able to see my rider, throwing whips and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of dudes in first person.
Just a couple more for you before we let you go. Before you came on, we were talking about neck braces. I'm doing a review of an Atlas brace, and we were talking about the injuries that have happened recently, and there's been a lot of spinal cord things, it seems like, in the last year. Have you ever considered going back? Because you don't wear a neck brace, right?
I've tried them way back on like 65s, 50s, but since then I've never worn one. No.
So give us your thoughts of why you choose not to, because there's the opinions are usually pretty similar.
Well, for me, I feel like I'm safer without it because I'm a better rider without it. It makes you so stiff in the upper back and neck, and I feel like you move your head a lot to the side to somewhat counterbalance your riding a little bit when you're in the air or something. You're putting your head over the bars, you're over your shoulder, and in the turns too. So I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to wear something that restricts me from riding, it's going to make me a more dangerous rider over something that, gives me my full range of motion and ability to ride at my best.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just want to get your thoughts. Last question I have is, we've got your amateur teammate coming up after you here in a few minutes. Alexander Fedortsov is going to be on. I really like that kid, and I feel like he's the real deal.
I mean, yeah, he needed to win that race for sure. He should have honestly won all of them, but a lot of things happen, and it's not easy to win ever. So, but he literally out of the practice track, he's the same speed as me and Cody a majority of the time. And even some days he's a little faster. So, it's crazy. Even our other amateur riders, Turner and Malinowski, when they're riding out here, they're pretty close now. And I didn't even know with rider Malinowski that he didn't even start riding till like 5 years ago, and he's riding full blown Supercross in 5 years at almost the highest level. So, I'm impressed with what they've done with the amateur program here, and even Alex, I didn't even know him until I got here, and I'm quite impressed with how well Brandon is at coaching these amateurs into riding Supercross.
Yeah, I agree. I met Alexander and Ryder, I think 2023. I came out there for a few days and met him. And the Ryder had only been riding, I think at that time, like 3 years. Yeah. And Alexander too. I guess he rode it as a kid when he was real young and then stopped for a while and got back into it. But yeah, very, very impressive group of kids. Club MX, man, they're not getting the credit that they deserve. And I like seeing the success that comes out of you and Cody and all those other guys, and really good group of riders.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have a good group, and hopefully the next few years we keep building and adding, more and more guys to our group and getting, a lot quicker and just building together is the goal.
Absolutely. Well, Maximus, thanks so much for your time. Please tell your dad I said hi, and you got a weekend off, and we'll see you guys in Salt Lake City.
Yes, sir. Will do.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
All right.
That's Maximus Vohland tonight, brought to you by Yamaha Motor USA. How the hell did I forget Nate Thrasher on the podium? That's been eating at me since 30 minutes ago. I suck.
I forgot that you're like you're starting to realize that you're not perfect, and I know it's hard.
Oh, I know I'm not perfect. That's why I like to make fun of you for your poor speaking skills.
That
and
seems kind of
texting.
messed up.
Speaking skills.
It makes me feel
better about yourself because
Yes.
you're so terrible.
yes.
Pretty shallow, man.
He's very shallow.
So?
Do you need floaties in the shallow end?
No, I'm good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good there. Okay, let's see. We got 15 minutes before we get Alexander on. Let's do the X-Brand Forum check-in. X-Brand is your choice for clear vision and a leader in motocross and off-road goggles. X-Brand is used by many of the top GNCC riders, arena cross, supercross, and pro motocross riders, including Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren, Henry Miller, Richard Taylor, and many more. Visit EKSbrand.com. Go to your local dealership and ask for X-Brand, distributed through WPS if you're an FXR guy or an Alpine Star guy, you can also get their goggles because don't tell anybody, but they're the same thing. They're X brand Lucid goggles, rebranded. Just don't tell anybody I told you that though.
How is that like everybody's goggles?
I don't really think it's a big deal.
That's what I'm saying. But
Well,
no,
I don't know. Alpine Stars might not like it.
but no, what I'm getting at is so many people use other people's goggles rebranded. It's insane. I had no clue. Like,
But if Alpine Stars spends a lot of money to rebrand it, maybe they don't want everybody knowing that.
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like we know there's only like 3 real manufacturers boots that make everybody's boots.
You mean like facilities that make them, right? Like, because
3 facilities that make the boots, but they are completely different boots.
Yes.
Like they make them to their spec. But with goggles, and it's not just X brand, it's not just this one company. A lot of are just a rebranded of the exact same. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, okay, so there's multiple brands made in the same facility.
Yes.
But the X brand Lucid was designed by Rich and some other people.
And he
now
gets royalties for them using his.
Alpine Stars and FXR pay a little bit, whatever they pay to use that goggle with their own. But that doesn't mean that those places would love the fact that people know it's not their own original design.
You're missing the point.
I guess I am.
What I'm saying is there are 3 manufacturing facilities for moto boots. Like for the major boots.
Okay.
They make everybody's boots.
Gotcha.
But those boots are all completely different. Like a Alpine Star boot doesn't look like a Garnet, doesn't look like all that.
So how are you relating that to the
goggles?
goggle?
Like the lenses are interchangeable. The foams are the same. Like they're just a rebrand, like a rebadge. And it's just weird.
So you're saying you don't understand why they're trying to keep it quiet?
No,
obvious?
Why someone like Alpine Star doesn't just have like, we want that goggle, we like a lot of it, let's just change the lens up a little bit.
Oh, I got you.
That's
Okay,
what
I
I'm
see what you're
getting
saying. All right.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Moving on. The X brand
Please.
forum check-in.
Said please.
This is the title of the forum post. What is it helping? What is it helping, guys? What's it helping? Posted by Chain Chatter. What exactly are we trying to accomplish here by trying to make this grimy little sport of ours mainstream? Then what? All this SMX BS, local NFL players at each round who have zero interest. What's the end game? More people at tracks? More bike sales? This thing will never be NASCAR or Major League Baseball, so what the F? Tons of us hate stick and ball sports, don't fit in, and dirt bikes are what we live for. We can tell you're new to this, and we hate you. Yeah.
I'm like,
wait, you can tell that someone
He's talking about the new people that come in that just learn he's kind of making a joke.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but at the same time, Supercross is a business. We want it to be bigger, better. So let's sell tickets, promote it.
To kind of go past what he's talking about, if we do or are successful in growing the sport, things like NFL and NBA and all that stuff, they have passes and programs where you can get like NFL Red Zone or, all these extra things where you get to watch more than just what is put on the mainstream broadcast. Mm-hmm. If we were to get more mainstream, those things would become available so the niche guys like him would have these cooler shows available to watch and not be stuck watching a thing that has to be kind of, I don't want to use the word dumbed down, but I'm going to use the word dumbed down for the new fan, like what we get now. We've talked about in the past of having like a show that was, more technical, had a different set of commentators. Mm-hmm. If we were successful in getting the show bigger, the sport bigger, those things would become available. And he would get more enjoyment out of that. So
that small part of it, but I think he's saying like, do we really want more people at our local tracks? Do we want everything, the prices to go up?
Because there'd be more local tracks built. If there'd be more money.
No, I don't think there would be.
They're all shutting down because they can't afford them anymore.
Because insurance is so high, but I don't think...
more people and pay for it.
I don't think we get more tracks. Especially not in California, obviously, but they have their own issues. Yeah. But I don't know if we get more tracks, but I think cost goes up. Our gate fees are already astronomical feeling. Race fees are already high. More people show up. It gets more popular. Maybe gate fees are $60 and entry fees are $100.
No, it would go down. Well, it wouldn't go down.
I don't know, but they're never going to go down.
No.
Never going to go down. They're only going to go up.
Then why even ride, man? What do we even do?
So
I got what is this gentleman's name?
Chain Chatter.
Chain Chatter. I don't like him anymore. Okay. I never liked him before, and now I like him less.
Well, he's my favorite
because he just gave me like a conspiracy hat cat thing where really and truly, all the promoting of the sport that failed, all these people are doing, trying to bring new people in, does not benefit the sport. It only benefits them and their advertising, because 90% of the people that they would be bringing in to watch the deal aren't going to be racers, aren't going to, like he's saying, aren't going to grow the sport. All it's going to do is just bring more revenue in for the people that already don't share it with the athletes.
That's fair.
If, like at Pittsburgh, there were some NFL players there. I've been to a few races where there have been NFL players there or musicians. And if one person that follows an NFL player or Ray Luzier, the drummer from Korn, sees this thing and goes, oh, I want to go check that out, and they start going and they become a fan, that's one more fan. That doesn't hurt us at all. That's good.
But it doesn't help us. Like what he's saying, like it doesn't do anything for these.
Why are you being so selfish?
He's saying it's just going to put money into like Monster Energy's hands, which
Monster Energy and failed in all their hands.
Dude, the more tickets they sell.
But how does that benefit us who are riders? It doesn't.
It's not all just about that. It's about the sport as a whole. It's about maybe we get more people in the stadiums and we get more races. Or
how does more people in the stadiums and failed making more money?
Less people in the stadiums makes it go away.
But hold on, it's not. But local racing is not going to go away.
I'm not talking about
no. But he's saying how does it benefit our sport for us?
I don't know that it directly benefits me.
It doesn't.
I'm not worried about just me. I'm not selfish like you two a-holes.
Your job is this.
I'm worried about.
I was saying it was a good thing to grow this sport.
Shut up, Scotty.
Oh my god.
But you get what I'm saying? Like really and truly, what does growing the professional side do for the average moto racer, weekend warrior racer? Nothing.
Okay.
I see what he's saying.
Are we proving the point though, that you hate professional racing?
If the manufacturers make more money from more people being interested and more people buying bikes, it allows more research and development to the bike and allows the bike to get better.
There you go.
But I don't.
We don't. You build your own bikes in your garage. We know, like
having less people at the races hurts the sport. So by the science of that is more people helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there's more people in the
less
stadium?
is not more.
Do you think there's more people in the stadiums like in 2022 and 2021, 2022 after the COVID stuff or whatever? Do you think that there was more people in the stadiums or less or the same?
I don't know the numbers.
No, I know you know the numbers, but you've been to the races through all this.
I think it's pretty similar.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Exactly. But our sport grew because it had nothing to do with the pro side. The sport grew for a while because people wanted to be outside and do stuff. It had nothing to do with pros.
Well, I'm all for growing it.
I don't see how growing the sport can be a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
It's
but
yelling at the clouds kind of mindset.
You're misunderstanding.
I know what he's saying. The local race doesn't benefit from there being more people at the track. I get that.
I don't think that's his exclusive.
That's what he's saying.
I'm the guy. Change that. I don't think that's his exclusive point. Just how does it benefit at all? It benefits the pro side. The TV package maybe gets better. Like you say, maybe we get more options.
Donnie Berger for the win. He said PJ is right.
So I'll even extend the olive branch even further. You're looking into scope of this in the 3 or 4 year scope. Look at it in a 30, 40, 50 year scope. If we have more people getting the sport bigger, then it makes the sport better. And then we always talk about, well, why are the privateer guys that get lapped all the time there? The sport will be bigger. Well, you have more people that have more. We're actually already kind of seeing that. The amateur kids coming up are like, they're so fast because everything grows up in a training facility now and all that kind of thing. Like, expand that another 30 years. If the sport keeps getting bigger, it's going to get better. And it's going to be more talent. It's going to be more exciting to watch.
And in 30 years, we'll all be on electric bikes.
Yeah, I know you're just you got to have Chubb over that.
I would say that if, let's just say theoretically, every year we gain 1,000 fans of the sport because of whatever they're doing on TV. Let's say we get 1,000 fans a year. Half those maybe they do go buy bikes, and maybe they get into racing, and their kids get into racing. And at the end of the day, this sport for me that we got into it because I like to ride with my dad, my friends, and it's about how much fun we're having. So it's good for the sport in that way. It sells more bikes. KTM doesn't have financial struggles. Maybe Suzuki eventually, actually develops a brand new bike. There's more money.
One step at a time.
Well, I mean, but like, so yes,
They're saving all their electric
more
starters.
popularity, more mainstream, in theory, should mean a small percentage of those people will actually get involved with the sport at the local level.
Right.
Hopefully, let's say 1%.
I mean, yes,
Or
it's,
half
it's
a percent.
possible.
I don't know.
I just don't. I've nothing's happened yet to make me believe that's what's going to happen.
So
We need to move
I
on.
know.
Go ahead and make your point. We need to move on.
Little Johnny goes to sees an advertisement because the sport's getting bigger and it's advertising on bigger
You're right.
avenues, and he goes to Supercross, and then he tells his dad that he wants a dirt bike, and they go to the dealership.
Adam Cincerillo.
They go to their dealership and they get a dirt bike, and he goes to his local race. That doesn't help.
No, that's what happened at AC. So you're right. You're right about that.
And you're wrong. Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
I love how, especially in this sport, everything has to be like he's right, he's wrong. Like,
Well, that's
Like-
society.
I know,
that's the
I
world.
know.
That's society
Yeah,
now in
it's just-
2025.
It's like your gay phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
No, nobody can be right.
Evans waterless coolant protects your engine because it always stays liquid. Steam inside the engine creates hot spots and detonation, but with Evans, the metal is always liquid cooled. Used by HRC Honda, Factory Beta USA, and Pro Factory Yamaha, and many other teams. Regardless of sponsorship, Evans is in the bikes on the podium. All right. Got a couple emails before we get to Alexander Fedortsov. Dwayne says, hey guys, love the show. I laughed so hard. He lifted a word. I just said, I
just
laughed.
read that. Oh my
Okay,
God.
I laughed so last week. I'm trying to.
We knew what he meant.
Do we?
Anyways,
When Scotty crossed the line picking on Dart, great connection between you two. I want to talk about the fantasy tips you gave about picking more riders from mid-pack to get a better score. The last few rounds, I've had riders in the $130,000 to $40,000 range with about 12 to 14 riders on my team. This week, I went a bit lower because my points were worse than my 8 to 10 rider teams. I picked 18 riders in the range of 120 to 15,000, and a good number of them made the main. I don't get to pit today because he's in Australia. This week, I barely broke 100 with 18 riders. I hate this game, but it sure keeps me
18
interested
riders?
in the mid-pack riders.
I hate.
We all
fantasy.
hate this game, but we love it at the same
Yes.
time, Dwayne. Thanks for sending your email, motoxpodshow@gmail.com.
So he picked 18. I picked 6. We got the same amount of points.
Man, it's
Yeah.
it's a what is it? Tossing.
Well, so
Crapshoot.
I've been the last couple of weeks. I've been doing just like it's pretty obvious that Chase and Cooper are gonna go 1 and 2. So like I just
until Salt Lake City.
go ahead and pick them. Like I know it cost a lot, but like that's
Yeah, I never pick those guys ever.
see that's 20. That's the last 2 weeks. That's been a guaranteed 27 points.
Yeah, but most of my guys are getting like 15 to 17, but I've got like 5 more of them.
yeah, I guess.
Just gets so confusing
Yeah,
because
I know.
I've done everything. I've picked top guys. I've mixed it up. I've
Since
Less is more,
I
more is
interrupted.
less.
I'm sorry.
no. You just go ahead with your rudeness.
Yeah, go ahead and finish your statement.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Since we talked about picking more riders, was that when ML
Yeah.
was on? I've done that, and I think overall it's been
sometimes
better.
maybe good. Sometimes
It's been better overall. Let's finish these emails because we got to get Alexander on the phone in a second.
Keep reading them.
Next one's from Vince Pell with TBolt USA. SMX next quote-unquote championship. This is going to be a topic with Alexander. You have all the technology to keep score on the 4 rounds and make a series of this, but you decide to only give the rider who wins the final rounds the championship. Vince, I can't argue that.
You know why the AMA did that, right?
They were trying to get guys from different regions.
But they were trying to keep it from turning into a series where everybody would drop the amateur nationals to go to these, and now it seems
Well, I thought they were trying to do that on purpose. Like
no, they're doing it to keep the amateur national circuit alive because that's where their bread and butter comes from for the AMA. So it didn't work. People are still cutting the nationals.
So if 10 less guys go to the A class at Loretta's or
it's all the
Ponca
other-
or
they're not-
whatever.
yeah, it's hurting the other series.
it takes away.
It's hurting.
It takes away the top
There
guys.
is no more freestone, right?
Yeah, it takes away JS7. Yeah, it's still the race is still there. It's just not a feature.
Feature. Yeah.
But what it does is if the top guys aren't there, then it loses its prestige, and
I guess.
and the parents chase
no,
the
I
prestige.
guess it
No,
does.
because that's where the factory support
Yeah.
teams go and stuff. I mean, it's all
Yeah, but you still have to be fast on a 65 at Loretta's.
Yeah, but the factory amateur teams were like Team Green are not going to be supporting those races anymore.
So those kids,
kids aren't going anymore.
But the intermediate and the younger guys and the 85s and stuff still are.
You haven't been to the amateur nationals, like a whole bunch of them. They're there for their A and B riders.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Like obviously,
I mean, you're right.
Andrew Quinlan, as I was watching the Pittsburgh show, I thought to myself, is there any sport where the leaders lap more than halfway up the field? I think this is a real challenge to mainline adoption of the sport because unless you are really into it, it just looks like madness out on the track. That's not a terrible point. I don't know if there's any other motorsports where the competitors get lapped multiple times unless they're
like NASCAR.
Yeah, maybe one or two if the cars broke. Right?
I don't watch it.
I don't think it's not a significant issue as it is in our tracks.
There's professional athletes in all baseball, basketball, football, all of them that make a good living, probably more than most of the Supercross guys that never play.
Okay.
They're a backup or they're a practice team.
But they're not getting They're saying you're seeing.
Yeah,
you're
not. But it's still the same thing. Like you don't.
It's not.
Yeah, it kind of is.
He's saying that there's so many people lap that somebody that doesn't really understand the sport might be like, "What? Why is there so many guys too lap? Like who's leading?" It's very confusing.
No, I get that,
watch.
but I'm just saying like there's other people and there's other sports where there's people that are in that sport that don't get any credit or any limelight or any.
We'll come back to that because I think.
No, I'm right.
All right, our next guest is brought to you by Guts Racing. Andy Craig and the Guts Racing crew continue to provide the best seats and foam available. If you want the same seats used by Rockstar, Husqvarna, Hep Suzuki, and many more, then you need Guts Racing. They have numerous color possibilities, staple or Velcro installation options, wing seats, and the best foam in the business with the Phantom Ultralight seat foam. Don't forget they have complete seats for the Talare and Super 73 and covers for the Sur-Ron and Segway, and they strive to ship orders within 36 business hours. Use code VITALMX to save 20%. Tonight, Guts Racing brings us from the Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, the 2025 SMX Next National Champion, Alexander Fedortsov. What's up, Alexander?
Hello.
Good to talk to you. First of all, do you prefer Alexander or Alex?
You can call me Alex. It's fine.
Okay, cool, man. Well, first things first, congratulations. I know this year, these races, you've had them in the palm of your hand and they've slipped away, but you got the final one, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a little rough, but yeah, what made it happen?
Yeah, so I met you a couple years ago, and you have come a long way in a couple years. I was just talking to Max about you, and I was like, man, you're like the real deal. He agreed. But going into this season, this SMX Next season, were your expectations to go win them all?
I'd say we're just coming into the Glendale. Just we know we can ride Supercross good on the practice tracks, and just try to transfer it to the on the races, and yeah, just check it out. Honestly, Glendale was just try it, and we'll see where we are. And we saw some mistakes what we make, and we just try to learn from it and make it better. And coming into Daytona, yeah, after Daytona, probably I started feeling I can start winning this more and more. And yeah.
How different are the tracks? How different do they develop throughout the night compared to what you've been practicing on? And was it difficult to adjust?
I'd say just because it's more people in track, and track gets rougher on the differently because just more people and everybody rode different, and just more people. That's why tracks getting a little different and different layouts on the track. It's not like same layout every time. Like the Dirtworks crew did a really good job putting different options on the track so we can adjust quick. And that I think that's most tough thing to adjust.
Yeah, to figure out, to get comfortable on, and very little time, right? You don't have a lot of time on the track to figure it out. I guess if you're at club and you're riding the tracks, you could take all day pretty much if you needed to figure the track out, and you don't really have that opportunity at a race.
Yeah, you can do sections in the practice track, but you kind of can't do that on the races. You have we actually have 8 minutes practice and straight to the qualifying, and you have to go set the best lap time or try to set the best lap time. So yeah, you have to adjust to the track, like first laps pretty much. So
yeah, I wanna get more into some of the races and what your plans are for the future. But since this is the first time you're on the show, and a lot of people don't know much about you, I do want to get a little bit of your background. Like, where'd you grow up and how did you get into moto? I think your dad was into it. So like, give us your background so people can get to know you a little bit.
So yeah, I lived in Russia a lot of years, like since I was like 4, and I grew up there, go school there. And when I was like 4 years old, like my dad started riding just outdoors, like riding dirt bikes, and I just kind of watching that. That's my brother started riding it, so I was like kind of just watching and really wants to ride it too. So start just riding my PW. So and just riding local races, just training, and then once I got to like 85s, I just stopped riding because it's like no opportunities to ride in Russia, and just I need to get the school done. So I stopped riding for like a couple of years. And then we got to watch the Red Bud. I think it was Motocross of Nations. So we watched that, and we just thought maybe we can try to ride in America and start learning how to ride in American and do some like local races and maybe Loretta's something. So we just got to the club, so learn how to ride the ruts, because it's in Russia, it's like no ruts. So you have to kind of understand how to ride more ruddy track and more rough tracks. And yeah, kind of go from there, just stay here at club and learn how to just learn everything I can. And then it goes, yeah. And then we did a little outdoors, and then start learn Supercross, because Supercross is important too. So just start learning Supercross and get better at it. And try futures. So yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, but most of your racing career, you've grown up in the U.S., right? You're a U.S. citizen, so you've had a lot of experience learning, like you said, and being at club. So I had like that passion. Was it instant almost when you got on a dirt bike, where it's like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I just love dirt bikes. Honestly, I just love to ride it, and I really have a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, I just really enjoy doing this. So I was just give it a try and just try to learn as much as I can. So trying to be better, and yeah, that's pretty much how I got here.
I love it.
When when all of that ends up with you on the winning this race and being on the top of the podium, how does that feel? Does it feel like you're in a dream? Like, does it feel like this is something that was possible, or does it just like, wow, how did I end up here?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of all the time. It was kind of the goal, go through like trying to win as many races as I can, and like show I can able to win. But just so much work put in, you kind of like forgot about this. And when I was in the race, yeah, when I did a finish line, I was just honestly, I was like standing there and like, really, I just did it. Like, I can't even believe in it. And I was like, shit. So then we just, yeah. And then started kind of like understanding that. But yeah, it was kind of the dream, like start winning it and show that I'm able to ride good. And yeah, that's pretty much what I tried to do.
One of our listeners in the chat, Brap Tech, said that no moto guy has ever said the words before, I stopped moto for school. just letting you know. But that being said, we see a lot of younger guys around your age coming through who have spent their whole lives from 4 or 5 years old just through the slog and through all of the amateur grinder. And do you think that it's going to be an advantage for you, kind of, I guess, put air quotes up, a later start, like in the long run?
Yeah, I think so, because I kind of have this kind of hunger coming into that already on the 250. So I kind of like put a lot of work into it when I was like on the 250, and I don't have pretty much like 85, like super minis, 125s, never raced that classes. So I think, yeah, I have more hunger going into this and once more. So that's what, bro. Yeah,
What are a few of the biggest things you've learned while being at the Club MX facility? They've got a great training facility, great tracks, lots of different dirt. The trainers are awesome. You got Deborah, the dietitian. Like everything you need is there. So what are a couple key things that really were the most impressive?
It was really good, like format schedule for riding we have, and like the tracks are different, and we kind of have the pretty much all type of dirt here. Like we have hard pack stuff, we have kind of like super fast track, and we have like kind of more tighter tracks. So you kind of understand how to ride all of these tracks. And for me, it's more like understand how to ride like rods and long rods. And throughout this 2-3 years, I changed my technique a little bit.
Nice.
To ride better on the rods. And yeah, I just get bigger in the gym because gym program has been awesome. So yeah, no, it's been really good here at Club. And like, yeah, I learned like a lot of things here in like past 2-3 years.
That's great. What are the plans going forward? I assume you're going to probably hit some outdoor stuff, testing, and get ready for Loretta's and all that. But yeah, what's the plans for the rest of 25?
I think we're gonna go pro outdoors this summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. After this, wants to go there, but after we get it done in Pittsburgh, we're like, yo, I just want to go there and start learning how to ride with the big boys and just learn the 35 minutes motos. And yeah, we're gonna get ready for that. Do some testing here at Club. So yeah, I think that's a plan.
That's awesome. I thought for sure you'd go back to Loretta's because I think you've only made one appearance there, right? Last year?
Yeah, I did once. Yeah.
Yeah. That's TJ, that's a pretty big deal, man. Just like, let's jump right in. Let's go pro.
That's aggressive. I
like it.
I mean, well, but like I was saying, like he doesn't, like he's not burned out. He's not like, and his trajectory is going to be completely different than anybody else.
I don't know if you remember, TJ, but when I went to Club a couple years ago and made a fool of myself and hurt my ankle.
We have it on our calendar.
Yeah, Alex was one of the kids that I met that I was like, I like this kid. Like he's very friendly and he was just kind of like motivating me, even though I was hurt. He's like, yeah, you're fine. You're going to, and like, he was so talented then.
He's like, get up.
So he was not fine, Alex.
He was not saying, don't be a pussy.
Yeah, Alex, you were thinking that though, right? You're like, quit being a pussy, old man.
Why are you so slow?
No, I mean, you need to take step by step. You don't need to be like, super like bad on the guy. You have to take it easy and come in. That's what I go through. That's why.
It's too late for us, Alex.
It's too late for us. But I was just, my point, I guess, of that was I was so impressed with him then, but he's come a long way from what I've seen. And that's why I asked Max about you. I was like, I feel like you're the real deal. And he agreed. And I just think you have a really bright future. So I'm more excited about nationals now, knowing that you're going to go out there. Like, I don't know what your expectations are, but it's just going to be cool to see you out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like honestly not really a lot of expectations. Just go out there and we'll see where we ended up. Like just have fun and just learn like their pace and just battle for each position. And we'll see. Just I don't know. Honestly, no expectations. Just want to come out, have fun, and ride good. That's probably it.
Are you going to try to keep your points under like the 40 thing, or is it the full meal deal? We're racing outdoors.
Yeah, I think that's full outdoors. Yeah,
that's insane.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Anything else, Scotty? You guys good?
I'm good.
I got a little bit more for him. I want to talk about the SMX Next program a little bit. The format, like you've been around Club MX for a long time, so you probably have a bit of an idea. But the first time at Glendale, when you went and you got to get there in the morning for track walk, and you got to go through all the, everything's by the minute, everything's checked off. Was that surprising? Were you prepared for that?
Honestly, a little bit uncomfortable feeling on the first round was a little uncomfortable. You kind of like have to understand your schedule when you need to eat. You need to eat properly. So it's like a little bit weird. And first round was rough for me.
Yeah,
just don't know what to do, and I was like, okay, track walk, you kind of like on the emotions everywhere. So yeah, like as we go through the rounds, like Daytona was better, Birmingham I was like more used to that, and like coming to Pittsburgh I was already kind of like calm and like do my things, and I know what to do, when to do, and when it's track walk, and I do like stuff. So yeah, you get more used to this schedule. So that's what I think like really, really helping the guys to coming into the pro ring, so you kind of understand that.
Absolutely. That was like the point I wanted to make is, 10 years ago when guys are coming in, they don't have that opportunity. They're thrown into the pro ranks, learn it on the fly, and it takes 2-3 years for a lot of guys to really adjust to that. With this SMX Next, you get those 2 or 3 years if you want them ahead of time, and you can be prepared when you finally decide to go pro. So I think what Feld and AMA is doing with this program is great. And I do want to ask you about this. So, and you kind of commented on it, the one race for the championship instead of it being a series. If I'm being honest, I don't like that. I feel like it should have been points, which would have meant you didn't win the championship, but I didn't really like that just one race is the champion. And then every other race, somebody got a number one plate, but it wasn't the champion.
Yeah, it was kind of, they did that kind of in this program. They did it. I was kind of like really surprised about that too. And when we started this rounds, because I thought it was going to be championship points too, but then this ended up more pressure on you on the last race, like on everybody. Like everybody probably sitting there like more nervous than like if we have championship like points or something. But yeah, like they did that schedule, so we're like, I mean, it's good to learn how to handle the pressure on the other side. But yeah, it's like really like just I don't know. Honestly, it was
It is what it is, and you're the champion, man. You're the national champion. We can't take that away from you. And again, I'm very excited to see what your future holds, Alexander. I've become a big fan already, and I want to see the best for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for giving us some of your time tonight, and hopefully I'm gonna try to get back out the club in the near future. I want to do some more riding out there, so hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yeah, no problem. Come on over.
All right, I'll do it, dude. Have a good night, and we'll see you in the Nationals.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, sure.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
That is Alexander Fedortsov tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. One of the, I think, a bright future, one of our
I think
future
it's
superstars, I hope.
I think it's smart to take the success that he's had in this SMX Next and go straight into the outdoors and carry that momentum. Like, I think that's such a risky move where if you do good in the SMX Next and then you potentially go to Loretta's and you could get injured or, not have the results that you want. And then you kind of waste that momentum that you've created for getting these good results. So I think it's like you said, a high risk, high reward. It's a little risky move, but I kind of like it. I think it kind of sets the standard maybe a little lower for him. Like, if he does go straight from that and goes out to the outdoors and he's getting some top 10s, it'll look good. Whereas if he was to continue to go there on the route of Loretta's and these other amateur nationals and win a bunch, then when he comes into outdoors or the pros next year, then he's expected to be on the podium and stuff. So I think you're going to see that a lot from these upcoming guys that are going to start trying to just kind of take a couple of these races and then jump into it.
Do you think that it could backfire in a way that he doesn't have a lot of gate drops? Right. I mean, I follow some of the amateur national stuff, and I haven't seen or heard him like being at the top all the time or whatever. So
I don't know. He did a couple combines last year, but I don't know how.
That's what I'm saying. So his gate. So like he's gonna be, especially not growing up every weekend on a gate somewhere. His racecraft may not be there,
right?
And that's gonna really cost him at the nationals. Like, I think with the people he trains with, I think his qualifying will get him into the motos, but I could see him being like fighting to get into the top 20. And if you come out this year and you're spending your whole time just fighting to get in the top 20, that's going to actually look worse on you than going to do the amateur nationals one year, I think. So it's a risky move.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes, but I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah, I want to go back to the SMX Next talk. Where I'm still not understanding how we were relating.
It wasn't about SMX Next.
Yeah, because we're talking about. Oh no, we were talking about. You were talking about players on the bench versus lappers. Sorry, lappers. So I don't really
Yeah, one of the guys in the chat said that he had a buddy that played for the Toronto Blue Jays and made a career out of it and never played a regular season game. It's the same. We just happened to see ours.
No, it's the
same
point,
person.
The point is, people that are watching that don't understand don't know who's who because
I get that.
Lappers. They're on the track, but why are they lapped 3 times? What does that have to do with?
I think y'all are talking about 2 totally different things.
We are. That's what I'm trying to understand. The point that
the point he's
well,
making.
What was the original question?
No other sport is like that where there's lappers getting lapped 3 times.
No, what I'm saying is that every sport has the guy that is not as good as the guy that's getting all the attention and fame. We just happen to see ours, and they get in the way a little bit.
Yeah, he was just
that is a problem. Yeah, but every sport has that guy. They help the other guys get better.
Not in tennis.
Tennis is you like to.
Okay, before we
those are the women players.
Before we get, I feel like the show's gone off the rails.
Yeah, TJ's back.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was talking about. I was talking to Lewis before the show, and he's like, "Well, how do you feel like it'll be with Lewis or TJ being back? Because the last 2 shows have been really good."
Yeah,
I was like, "It'd be interesting to find out."
Yeah,
that may be the problem.
I think it's 2 different things. Like when it's just us, it's a little more mundane, a little more to the point, a little more analytical, and then when all of us are on, it's just bash fest arguing. And
yeah,
I like that more personally.
Some people don't like it.
Some people don't like it. So, but I mean, you gotta have a little bit of variety.
I feel like most of the time you're hanging out with your buddies, you're talking.
I mean, every other podcast, like Pulp, like he doesn't bring the same. He doesn't bring the same guest on the same co-host on every time. Like, I mean, he brings in different things and he gets different vibes out of different shows.
I need to text Steve before he finds out a different way, because it's going to be a new thing.
Oh, what'd you do? Did you ask for another boot?
I didn't do anything.
Did you ask for a boot?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, shit.
The guy from Brunt Boots messaged me today and said, "Would you like to try some of our boots?" He's like, "I love your show. I love what you're doing."
Tell him I actually work in boots. Yeah. I could actually test those boots.
So he's sending me a pair of boots.
Hey, you're going to get them because you do so much work.
He's sending you 2, not just one.
A pair.
Okay, cool.
2 boots.
Just making sure.
Work around here. I mean, I wear my 3-year-old Ariots when I'm working. Ariots, and yeah.
Anyways,
so I need to tell Steve.
They keep talking about it on.
No, just show up in them
on Steve's podcast and on the. Well, I guess it's the review that brought
all his platforms. I think.
But anyways, and they're all talking about how nobody really works in boots, and I'm like, I make a living wearing steel-toed boots.
Well, I did too for 13 years, and I wear them anytime I'm doing any kind of construction around here or whatever. So, anyway, but yeah, I need to text Steve and be like, "Hey, you're gonna find this out. Let's get it over with."
I got a YouTube channel if anyone.
No, I would just show up in them.
He won't even be. Well, first, I'm not gonna wear my work boots to go do the Pulp show.
Do it.
No, he's gonna find out before then. So I just need to tell him.
So I actually have Steve's number. I could text him and say that I caught Jamie.
I'm gonna text him.
I caught Jamie trying to steal one of his sponsors.
But okay, I'm gonna hit up Carlen Gardner in a second. I do real quick. One of the Yamaha opening chat things I wanted to talk about real quick was Justin Cooper. How good he looked. He looked awesome, man. That's the best I feel like I've seen him all year. I've been sort of joking and playing up to me stamping a win in Salt Lake City, but I really feel he has an opportunity to win there, because I think Cooper's going to be kind of like, yeah, I don't have to win. Chase has to win. Maybe he makes a mistake. Justin's good, man, and I think the progression we've seen this season is probably he's probably progressed the most of any other rider this season.
Do we feel like his inability to
inability?
The inability. I don't even know if it's inability, but his basically saying, I don't want to hit whoops. No, he obviously can. We've seen him blitz whoops before, but his doesn't have the desire to do it is really that big of a hindrance. Like, is it?
Yes. At certain tracks, yes.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Like, if you I'd like to see how much time he would actually be losing in that segment. Is it a quarter of a second? Is it a full second? What I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the track, obviously, and those segments are broke down every week on supermotocross.com. You can go look at that information, but you can visually see it a lot of times on the races when they're showing him getting gapped or people catching him because of that. It's definitely not helping him.
What I'm getting at is, like, if he could go, Chase's speed everywhere or faster than Chase everywhere, could he be in the battle just jumping the whoops, only losing like a eighth of a second each time? I don't know. Yeah,
I think if you're losing a significant, any amount of time, every lap, every week in one specific section, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? You got to figure that out. Okay, I think our next guest of the night's on the line. So he's going to be brought to you by Racetech, which is the world's largest aftermarket motorcycle suspension modification company. And they have over 40 years of experience providing factory-level suspension to the everyday rider. Racetech Go Valves provide a plush feel with drastically improved bottoming resistance and increased traction. All Racetech products are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. So go to racetech.com, find your local service center, and get them on board helping you out. Tonight, Racetech brings us the team manager for the Liquid Moly Beta Factory Racing Team, Carlen Gardner. What's up, Carlen?
How are we doing?
We're doing good, man. How are you? How's the West Coast today? How's the weather?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's warming up.
Yeah, it's getting nice. We've had some humidity out here in Texas, so it's already warm here.
Yeah, no, it's been a nice 75, 80, clear skies.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, man, there's a lot I want to get into with you tonight in these next 30 minutes or so. Let's start with team manager. You started out as team manager for the off-road division, right? In 2023, I think?
2021.
21, it was that. Okay, so going into 21, when you took that opportunity, did you know that down the road they were planning on a professional supercross team? Was that part of the deal?
Yeah, that was the deal. Starting out, we just didn't know how long it was going to quite take.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so you had done some managing in the past. I think you started with BWR Racing, right? I think you were the team manager there, and you kind of got thrown to the wolves. I feel like you didn't have a whole lot of experience before that. But is this team manager a role that you thought when you were racing that eventually this is something I could do?
Absolutely. I didn't really know this is what I wanted to do. I just knew when I was racing, I wanted to set myself up to stay in the industry. That was my goal. So whether that was building tracks, being a rep for a company, management, test rider, it did not matter. I dedicated my life to riding dirt bikes and around this industry, and I just wanted to be in it however that see fit. So I just wanted to be well-rounded in everything, So when I was racing, I had to fill a lot of holes and wear a lot of hats to keep going. And I met some great people, including Brian White, and he was kind of getting out of the team stuff when I was starting to race, and we met through Chris at Racetech. He introduced us, and it all fell into place from there. And so I took over, the BWR team as far as just the management side in 2018, and Brian and I partnered in creating that team, or getting that team continue it to keep going.
Yeah, sorry. I thought TJ you looked at me. I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Well, I did, but I didn't want to jump in there because you had talked about doing the cross country team, and as big as the off road racing and stuff is, like, it kind of seems like that'd be an awesome place to be. I hear the pits are amazing. The crowd is full. Like, when you were in that, did you want to stay there, or were you like, I got to get to Supercross because that's what I know and where I want to be?
Man, again, like I said, I don't care. I'm into dirt bikes wherever that, wherever I fit best. I love the off-road side. I'm still involved with the off-road side every day. I oversee all the programs, as well as run the Supercross stuff day to day. So we have two, regional managers, the West and East. Josh Strang is our East manager, and Brian Maroc is our West manager. So I'm still heavily involved. It's just so different, only in as far as strategy, bike setup, stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to learn all that. I come from growing up riding desert, but not racing desert or off road. It was a great thing to learn for those couple of years, and also learning this company. And it was, from jumping from a Supercross team to, at the time we had 9 factory riders when I joined in 21. So it's quite the logistical circus we got going on.
Yeah, that's a lot of riders. I didn't realize that team was that big. When you took the job and there was discussion of a Supercross team coming, was there a part of you at all that was like, ooh, Supercross, beta, will that work? Did you kind of have any concerns?
No, I did not, because how could you not look at it in the eye like that and take on that kind of I wouldn't say risk, but something that's never been done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, in my eyes, you can't fail. In reality, I mean, it's because there's no blueprint for it. I had all the support I needed. My boss believed in me, and he gave me what I needed to figure it out. And I never did, because I really don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
I even with our team, I joke about it, but when I told Brian White when we joined in 2018, I was like, we're going to get a semi. He's always wanted to have a semi on the team, and I was like, we're going to have sponsors, we're going to have 4 racers, and we're going to go do the whole series. And same thing, from where I come from, it wasn't going to happen. Is what people were going to tell me, and I love challenges like that. I really do. I think it's awesome when you kind of get into something that's never been done before.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. I think teams like yourselves and then Ducati coming in, and dude, it just makes the sport stronger. So let me ask you this: 2 years in now to the Supercross season, anyway. Like, has it been successful? Have you met the goals or most of the goals that you wanted to meet to this point?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think so. I'm never too high and I'm never too low. So I'm always a party pooper when it comes to when we do have success. But except for Benny's first top 10 at Daytona last year, I was almost in tears. That one got me.
Oh, that's awesome.
But just because my boss was there, we had been through so much that season, and to do it at Daytona with, we had a bunch of dealers there. Everything just matched up to being a great night. But I think it's been very successful. I really do. Just with the story we had, with kind of coming into last season and now what we do have and the team we've created. And I think it's something super special. I think it's been extremely successful.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I've been loving watching the progression, and I'm a big Benny Bloss fan, and I've known Mitchell for a long time, so I'm really happy for you guys. It's been great. Scotty, sorry.
Yeah. What's back with the, obviously you guys are the race team, and then back with the guys that are working on the production stuff. How much of what you guys are finding on the bikes and stuff is going back to the manufacturer, and how much help are they getting from what you guys are finding on the bikes and things like that?
It's kind of a challenging question because we're all Supercross and they're all motocross. So we share everything we do, whether it works or it doesn't. I know, how they set up a bike and power and everything for outdoors, and a lot of sand riding is very different than how we want to set it up for Supercross. So we have all the resources we need, but my boss lets us do everything in-house here as well. So we don't have to answer to Italy. I say that, not in a bad way, but we get the freedom to do what we need to do to be successful in Supercross. Like I said, whether that works for them or not. So we share things day to day, and they're actually testing quite a bit of stuff right now that we found over the last few months. So hopefully we'll see kind of what they find with that. But all in all, I mean, it's like I said, it doesn't cross over much because we do race 2 different disciplines.
Right. Let me ask you this. So over the last couple of years, what have been a couple of the biggest struggles and maybe positive surprises over the last 2 years of developing this team and the bike and all you've been through?
That's a hard question because a lot of it was a big struggle. How many people can say they've took a motorcycle that's never touched a Supercross track and make it be competitive as far as durability, frames, swing arms, transmissions, engine durability, just every single part on that bike. Is it going to hit 65 laps a night and be good? So it's a challenge that it's not just a new generation of bike. This is the first time that motorcycle is raced Supercross at the highest level. So it is now. I feel like I've been through everything I can. I really do. And that's the best thing that could have ever happened to us as a team, because, man, we learned so much, to where now when we kind of come across things, we put our heads together and there's an answer, within 24 hours. So it made us really, really smart as far as how a motorcycle works. That's for sure.
So next year, possibly, we're going to have 2 more new manufacturers coming in. So, have you talked to any of the people who maybe are related to the Ducati or the Triumph stuff about bringing a new bike in? Have they asked you questions or any of that kind of stuff?
No. We're pretty secluded from the industry. If I'm be honest, we do our own little thing here. We're our own little Italian company in Paso Robles. We stay under the radar, and I like it that way. I think it keeps us the underdogs. No one knows what we got going on, and I want to come out and get results and show that we are competitive. But no, I don't have communication with those guys, but I think it is fantastic for the sport. As a racer standpoint and as a fan, that's huge.
I know you're probably going to be next year when Ducati's pushing their bike off the side of the track or something. You're going to be like, "Yep, been there with that one."
I hope not. Because that's a heartbreak.
Yeah. Speaking of some of those struggles early, having a guy like the Colt Nichols thing didn't work out, but I think everything left amicably. How much did having a guy that was at Honda HRC for a little while and had won a championship, how much did he help you with just kind of like the demands of a rider at that level? Nothing against Benny, obviously. Benny's fantastic, but Colt was on, factory Honda and won a title.
Yeah, it was I wouldn't say it didn't work out, because it worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to put that. It was a struggle, but we had a lot of stuff going on that year, with everything, of ground zeroing that bike. And, we definitely had our challenges coming into the season, with just the amount of testing we had with Colt when we did. He was racing World Supercross at the time, and so we didn't get a lot of days on the bike. Plus, we did get handed a different motorcycle weeks out from Anaheim 1. So that we had our cards dealt against us for a while, and we had our toes up and our heels, dug in the sand the whole time, that we were just searching. But to answer your question on demands, I expected it. I didn't know how I wanted to deal with it, and I'm so glad I got to work with Colt in a lot of situations like that, because it does kind of slow me down a little bit, and kind of thinking about putting myself in his perspective and a rider's perspective, and what do they see from our end, and whether it's good or bad, instead of being so on the defense mode and saying they do or don't know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot on the management side, and he helped us create actually some great relationships in the industry, with some outside stuff, because we are in-house a lot, and we pride ourselves on that, but it doesn't hurt to reach out and ask every now and then. So he bridged a lot of those gaps on some of the relationships that we use today.
Oh, I love it.
All right, Mitchell, that kind of leads me into what seems to be the $1 million question. Who is Beta's premier number 1 rider currently?
Well, look at the points. Look at the top 10s.
Yeah, who's the
well, those actually don't add up. They're actually opposite. But
we've got Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper. We've got Chase Sexton, AP. We kind of know, what's number 1, number 2. We don't know that with Beta.
Who got re-signed first? Scotty.
Okay, all right. Let's let him answer.
Well, they actually signed the same night.
Oh shit! Okay.
No, we don't play. I don't really play that game. I like to give as much attention to both of them. Mitchell has had some great rides. Benny's had some great rides. Benny just has lacked some consistency throughout the season. But we don't have A and B guys.
Yeah,
everyone. I know I'd like to create the drama, but But I honestly don't see anything like that, and I don't think it is from the outside either. I think both guys do a fantastic job for us.
Well, over here, I'm Team Freckle just because he's a Dallas kid. Grew up around here, and Benny is just so tall, and I'm so short. I just can't like anybody that tall.
That's a dumb reason not to like somebody.
Yeah.
I'm team Benny.
But you're also 6 foot.
But
something.
I love Mitchell too. So yeah, they're both great guys.
Yes, you have two great guys on your team who definitely make your team like a place people want to be.
Carlen Gardner tonight brought to you by Racetech. Racetech.com. Find your local service center. Get to know your local service tech. Guy will save your day when you're at the track, help you get things set up. You can revalve, change your fluids, all that stuff. Racetech.com. Outdoors. I think originally I heard you guys were going to try to do a couple of the West Coast rounds, maybe 3 rounds total. Is that the same? Has that changed? I'm pretty sure Benny would like to do more outdoors. I don't think Mitchell wants to do any.
We're going to do Hangtown, Thunder Valley, and High Point.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty committed to that. I was on the horn today trying to deal with MX Sports on all that stuff. But, yeah, that's what we're aiming for. And my brother Bryson's also going to race Hangtown, and then Dare DiMartino is going to race Hangtown with us as well. So we'll put 4 bikes on the track for that race. Benny wants to race all of them, of course. He's the outdoor guy.
Yeah.
That's just not in our cards right now. The goal for those races is fun. We always like to say it's for fun because it is. We're riding dirt bikes, but also points for SMX. We're chasing the SMX stuff. So, get those guys going to where they can score some more points because there's always those privateers that just kill outdoors and get a bunch of points. So it'll shake up the overall SMX points a little bit for us.
Yeah.
And I got Mitchell, I think I've got Mitchell turned on the mentality of not wanting to do them. I think he's all in now.
Oh, really?
He's riding and training, and he's on the horn with suspension. He's doing motos. He's in for it.
Okay, good.
So y'all are just, like I said, taking just a few races. With Beta, you have a cross-country bike. You have a bike that is designed like was focused more towards moto, like you were saying, from the production side. Is it budget? What is the constraint from keeping y'all from doing the whole season? It seems like it would be like a big win for y'all.
It very well could be, but if we're going to be on the conservative side and spend money and figure out what's right and wrong, just Supercross seems like the best, game plan, bang for your buck.
Yeah.
We really don't want to be here for 5 years and disappear. Mm-hmm. We want to be here long term, and so we want to stay within our means and make sure we're doing things right and sell motorcycles. So the better we do in Supercross and promote the brand more and sell more bikes, then you never know when we get to go race the full series. But it's also still fresh and unique to be a factory team and not require outdoors and just go race and sprinkle in some fun stuff and race some outdoors. Maybe go race some GNCCs if the guys want, and hit SMX and take some time off as well because we want these guys' careers to continue longer. It's just a different layout, and we think it's a good way to go about it right now.
Does Beta have like a contingency system for privateers that want to race the bike outdoors?
Not yet. No, we're like I said, we're still new on getting these bikes out there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a couple of privateers racing the first races. I think there's 2 guys that'll be at the first 3 rounds for sure. So on some support deals, but no, like I said, we're still only a year and a half into this on the factory side. So we don't want to bite off more than we can chew, and we want to make sure that we do it correctly and that we can continue to do it.
Yeah, that's what Cowie did for a long time. Had huge contingency, and the whole mid pack of the field was green for that.
So not wanting to bite off more than you can chew is going to almost render this next question null and void. But one of our listeners sent me an email, says, next year or whenever you build the new Beta 250 RX 4-stroke, who are 2 riders you would love to get signed? He gave a list of like maybe a Landon Gordon or somebody like a Cullen Park. Hunter Yoder, Gavin Towers. Does anybody stand out that if you had a 250 team, they'd be like, oh, I'd like to have those guys?
I haven't even picked at anyone's brain yet, just because I do not honestly know when the 250 could be coming, and that is not a corporate answer.
No, it's fine.
I really don't. All I care about is they want to be here, and that's what this 450 program is. I want to create, like you said, with Benny and Mitchell, creating that environment that they want to be here, and they do. I want to create that to where I have guys calling me, to where I'm not begging people to ride a bike. They know we have a solid bike. They know we have a solid team. Everything about us is legit. But just for funsies,
yeah,
I think kind of, the underdogs a little bit that are poking between, the 7 to 12 range, to where you can take them and mold them and they have some untapped potential. A rider, like Hunter Yoder,
yep,
or even a Robbie Wageman,
Gage Linville.
What's that?
Gage Linville, man. I'm a big fan of that kid.
Yeah, someone that goes out and puts in good qualifying times. They're third or fourth in heat races, and maybe with some support and a good structure, those kids could excel. Those are the kids that kind of excite me, of that level. But maybe by the time we get a 250, I can go on the hunt for a top guy as well. You never know.
Yeah,
like I said, we just got to keep getting results and showing how good these bikes are, so we can show the customers how good they are.
Just a couple more for you. I've got one more from our listener, Wilma Fingerdo is his Instagram handle. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he says, do you know when the Beta 350 RX 2-stroke is going to be released?
Who says there is one?
I don't know. That's I don't know, man. I'm just reading the question.
I don't know either.
Okay. All right. That's all we're getting, Wilma. Do you guys have anything else? I got one more for him. If not, we're good. Do you miss racing yourself, going out there? I mean, you had a good pro career, man. Do you miss it?
No, I don't. And that comes from, like I said, my goal was to find a home in the industry. I did my job. I loved racing, but it wasn't everything to me. That was just my best avenue at that time in my life. And I gave it everything I had, for sure. But I don't miss it because I'm exactly where I should be. And I'm healthy, and I have a young family now, and yeah, it's awesome. So not in a bad way. No.
Yeah, that's good then, man, because I think most racers probably would, and that could kind of eat at you a little bit and maybe like, oh, this isn't really what I want to be doing, but it sounds like you're right where you need to be. And I'm excited to see the team continue to grow, and yeah, we'll continue to have fun with making fun of Benny. That's really, I know, Scotty, when you brought that up, it's because of Mathis, and I'm in that privateer group chat.
It's all just to make fun of Benny.
Yeah, in that privateer group chat, he's constantly like, well, yeah, my number one beta guy, who Mitchell's not in the group chat, but he brings it up all the time with Benny. So it's all in fun. We love those guys, but happy to have you in the paddock. And yeah, I just want to see you guys continue to improve, man. It's great.
Yeah, we're going to keep being there, and we're never going to give up. We got 2 more rounds to still make a swing at, getting both those guys in the top 10, and Benny's holding the best finish at 7th. So Mitchell's got to go out and go swing. If he can pull another one of those hole shots, he can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, I know Benny told me he's a little banged up right now. He fell last weekend, and then basically got 0 points. I mean, he was finished last. I think that sucks, that new point system. But hopefully he'll be feeling better by this weekend, and him and Mitchell can go out there and kick some butt.
Yeah, I think they'll be good. If you want to feel pain, you're going to feel pain. So he's safe enough to ride. He's been checked out, which is good. He's taken this week to rest up, and most of the time he's taking the week off. He comes out and puts out a new best result. So Benny's going to be strong. Mitchell's going to be strong. We got 2 rounds to keep it going. So I'm ready for it.
Well, Carlen, thanks for jumping on here. And honestly, I'm going to say, as I asked the question earlier, I think it has been successful, and congrats on that. Love seeing it, and yeah, keep it going.
I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Have a good night, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's Carlen Gardner, brought to you tonight by Race Tech. That's been a lot of fun, dude. That's the first time I've actually ever talked to him. I think I kind of said hi to him in the pits, but never had a real conversation. So, and again, like some people, I don't think give Beta the respect maybe they're deserving based off the results they've gotten for a brand new motocross team, supercross team.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say anything like their bikes are junk because of whatever. I mean, I've never heard anything negative.
No, I think it's more like if close your eyes and you think of the factory teams, the great teams who, I don't think anybody's going, oh yeah, Beta's kicking ass, right? But they really are, considering it's brand new and what they're learning and they're still developing.
Yeah.
I think they're being very successful. No, they haven't won. No, they haven't got a podium, but top 10s on a brand new bike. I think they're doing great.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's smart that they got ahead of, with obviously when they were getting into this, I'm sure that they were aware of the fact that, they came in about the same time as Triumph, and then they Ducati and all these ones are coming. I think it was smart of them to get ahead of the curve a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Triumph's not focusing on the 450s; they're focusing on the 250 class,
Yep.
and I think it's cool that they kind of, whether there's not they get the results that a factory team would want to see, maybe not, but the fact that they're kind of jumping ahead of the curve, I think will play for them in the long run.
Agreed. Okay, ETS Racing Fuels was forged from the heat of competition nearly 30 years ago, developing purpose-engineered fuel for high-profile teams in highly competitive series. We've been the power behind many podium wins ever since. Teams using ETS Racing Fuels have won more than 50 national and world champion titles, and we continue to forge new alliances and partnerships across motorsports. ETSRacingFuels.com to find your local distributor. Factory teams like Factory KTM, Factory HRC Honda, Rockstar Husqvarna, Rockstar Gas, as well as Factory Triumph, Tedder, KTM, Mad Parts Kawasaki, many others. Trust it. I use it. I like it. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know that I notice the performance difference, but I know it burns cleaner, right? It's good for the engine.
That's dude. That Yamaha is fast with that gas in it.
Fast no matter what.
I know,
yeah.
but I think when I rode it, it kind of pops and stuff. You can tell that it's got really good gas in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that fluff feeling
clean.
to it.
Sure,
yeah,
it's very instant.
Yes.
I did want to talk real quick. I meant to do this at the beginning part of the show, and we ran out of time, TJ. We did ride at your house on your newish track, which last time I rode it was just like a single track through the woods. It still is, but you added a few jumps, and we had a lot of fun riding at your place Friday.
Yeah, you look really good on that triple. I never pulled it out. I don't know why. I followed you over it a couple of times. I'm like, I just couldn't.
Second lap.
Yeah, I just couldn't make it.
Or you let him do a jump that you didn't do at your own place?
Absolutely. That doesn't bother me. I'm not, whatever.
Yeah, man. I mean, I am so in tune with my machines right now that just second lap.
I'm case the ever shit.
No, I got it clean the first time.
I was saying one time I watched you.
Yeah, second time I clipped it. Yeah.
But
why are you laughing? You ain't even riding.
Yeah, true.
He is riding this weekend, and so the chat likes to make jokes that I'm Scotty's dad.
Yeah.
But like this weekend I am because he's riding one of my bikes.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go, son.
Are you going to make sure that he washes it and
I did last time.
Shows up on time?
I'm coming to change the oil too.
He's supposed to show up a couple days early.
That was smart.
Yeah. Everything will be all right.
Now, he is going to do an oil change on the bike for me, but I told him I get to torque the...
Okay.
Because I don't want it over... Because he said, oh, no, I will never make that mistake again. I may actually over-torque one. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have fun. Diamond Dawn's TCR... Is it TCR?
TCC.
How many C's are in that?
Two C's.
Two C's.
Cross country.
Like CC's
okay.
pizza.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. That makes more sense.
Well, I want to go to CC's.
I'll be in Denver. I'll be at the Privateer.
It's not as cheap as it used to be.
LCQ race, and
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But I appreciate it. Let me come at your place. I rode the 350 at your house, then I rode the 450 at Crowded J, and yeah, I feel really good on the motorcycle right now, man. I cannot wait to ride tomorrow.
I wanted to watch you hit the stupid jump, but you never would pull it out.
Yeah, he's got this jump. It's not.
He just made a stupid jump.
How far do you think it is?
Maybe 30 foot. Maybe
it's coming out of a right-hander, and it's like really peaked. And he dug it like he got the dirt by digging a hole, so it goes way down. It goes way back up.
Oh
so
yeah, that sounds fun.
If you don't make it, you're just going to stop. Like the bike's going to pow and done. And I just
So you just roll it?
I jumped halfway.
No, we were just he jumped into the face of the next uphill, but like
and I was barely on the gas.
But the lip, one side has vert because it's for the pit bikes. Like you pop
Oh,
straight
okay,
up.
yeah. I know. I've rode your pit bike track.
But the other side is laid down, and Doc looked at it today and he's like, "Yeah, that's no big deal." And I'm like, "I'm never hitting that." And he's like, "Dad, I'll hit it first lap." And I'm like,
I should have done it.
Did he do it?
Doc,
Yeah.
he has to have surgery tomorrow to get the
okay.
pins out of his wrist.
But anyway, I had a good time. Had a lot of fun riding these last few weeks since leaving club and everything. And I feel like if we could do the regional right now, I'd be good.
Well, I feel like
We'll keep
riding
getting
with
better.
you the other day, like it kind of made me realize that maybe I need to do more than just play ride at the house. Like actually get
ride.
because I usually just ride the Talaria at the house, and so
Yeah.
I got to get my big bike out.
2 laps. I've got him. Anything more than that, he's got me.
Who?
Him.
Oh,
Yeah, 1 or 2 laps. Like if he gets behind me, I can maybe even gap him
there's
a little bit.
No chance right now. You think so?
I've been behind him where like he'll pull me because he's better in corners than I am
I
at
got
times,
you.
and he'll pull me. But then he gets
How
tired.
long ago was that though?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you-
okay.
Where was that?
And that was like,
crowded?
and that's like I'm riding like once every like 2 or 3 months
Yeah.
on somebody else's
Yeah.
bike
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now too. So
That's pretty good
yeah.
because he's riding really good.
yeah, but
Yeah,
no, but before like 3 or 4 years ago, like I would smoke
Right.
him.
Well, we talked
so-
about that because when we first met, we kind of met because we were in the same class racing, and we
Y'all
were
too?
Yeah, we were back and forth. Like I feel like my memory serves that I could beat him most of the time, but he could get me sometimes. And now there's not even a chance. Like there's not even a chance.
Yeah, I kept catching you in the woods, and you would like hold me up, and
I purposely brake checked him a
Yeah.
couple times because I can't stall my bike.
I stalled a couple
I
times.
stalled him.
Y'all
behind
are the dirtiest people I've ever rode with.
Hey man, I'm just having fun.
I'll be like, I tried to, I didn't know it was him. And
Yeah.
we were riding at Crowded J. I just heard a bike come up on me real fast because I was just kind of cruising. And then I like moved over to like let this bike go.
It's a front wheel. I'm murdering
Oh,
your
and
front
dude,
wheel.
he did. He just like, he stopped what he was doing, like pivoted and just on and off camber and just like dive bombed my front tire. And I just had to like
Yeah.
slam on the brakes. Yeah.
Slap hands.
Yeah. So Michael Gage, our buddy, his
Yes.
stepson Dakota just got back into riding.
Okay.
And he was at Crowded, and he was
Is his
making
knee okay?
Huh?
Is Michael's knee okay? Is he going to be able to
He's
do
gonna
the
be having surgery pretty soon, I think. He's trying to hold off, but until after Loretta's. But yeah, he's gonna have to have surgery.
Okay.
Anyway, Dakota was going around the right-hander before the left-hander, leading into what was the whoops. Now is the rhythm, and he's just learning again. He's going
You
so
cleaned
slow.
him?
No, but I came over on him really
That's
hard,
awesome.
and just and then he's like, yeah, it scared him, and then I passed him before that table that's at the bottom, and it's always muddy. And he's like, dude, you just roosted me and splashed me with mud. And I was like, yeah, sorry, man.
Yes. Welcome to Moto.
That's
Yeah.
like I'll be laughing like a hyena like on the
Yeah,
track.
he does that.
Oh, yeah. I hear
Yeah.
him giggling. Like when
Especially
I
when it's
stalled
on-
the bike at his house because he didn't brake check me that time. He was just going slow. And I,
Now that he's on an e-bike too, you can hear him.
you-
Yeah.
I love it.
Ridiculous.
But I do that
All
all
right.
the time.
Yeah.
TBolt USA top 5, the best part of the show. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and you love shredding around on a CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need TBoltUSA.com bookmarked on your web browser. TBolt USA is a pit bike supply site that has everything you need for your pit bikes. From BBR handlebars to D&M shocks and even full bikes from YCF and Pitster Pro bikes, TBolt USA has it all. They even have parts or can get you matching parts for those Chinese knockoff piece of crap bikes that you bought for your grandkid 5 years ago on the street corner across from the gas station. And now the dude's never came back and you just got a bike sitting in your shop, but you don't know what to do with.
At a pawn shop.
Yeah, so TBoltUSA.com. All right, TBolt USA.
Can I do mine last?
Sure, top 5 this week. I've been
mine are
saving this
good.
one for when you got back. This was basically the top 5 questions you would want answered when you die or whatever. And I'll go first, okay?
Okay.
So I'll set the groundwork for this thing. My list is from like 3 weeks ago because you never come to the show anymore.
Can we make odds on whether he totally misses the whole subject? Scotty misses
What?
the whole subject and asks like just seems like a
No.
lot of times.
Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube right now. Like if he gets it completely wrong?
Like he gets it completely wrong.
No, I think he's got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna
So
bet against him on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
All
he
right.
no. Okay.
All right, so here we go. My number one is, are there aliens? What's out there in the universe? That's my number one. Number two, who killed JFK? Who shot JFK? Who knew? Give me the deets.
Okay.
Number three, kind of aliens-ish. Area 51. What's really there? What was there? What's all the top secret shit? I want to know. Are we living in a simulation?
That's a good one. We could be.
Those are my five. There's probably a lot more. I know there's a lot more, but those are my five. Scotty, you want to go next?
Yeah.
MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. Send us your top fives. Send us suggestions for a top five list. Send us your picks for Denver coming up. Use that email for all your contact with the show. Oh, Dakota's watching. Wish Beta had an East Texas dealership. Dakota must be watching right now. The kid that's Michael Gage's stepson that
okay, cool.
Kind of was messing with the other day.
How many in other galaxies, how many Earth-like planets are there? How many things like this? Kind of simulation question a little bit. Has there ever been a Bigfoot?
Okay. I think yes.
How many times have we had a flood? Like, have we started over?
Oh, wiped out, yeah.
Like,
or
many,
freeze.
How long ago was dinosaurs? How many times have we had human lives since then?
Well, if the simulation's being reset, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Like how do we have subconscious? Like, what is our subconscious and like and the way we're able to like kind of have an inner talk? And where's all my pets? Like, where's all my pets that I had growing up? Like, where are they?
They're dead.
Am I going to see them too?
Okay.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, they sound like they're dead, bro.
That made me think of something, but I'll let TJ
go ahead.
Was I out of context? Did I answer those right? Okay, good.
So when he said like, where are my pets? That made me think of, okay, I don't want to get into religion and theology or whatever too much, but when people go, oh man, I know I'm going to go to heaven and all my loved ones are going to be there. I go, but what if your idea of heaven's different than your loved one? What if they don't like you that much? Like okay.
That's so cynical.
TJ, in your heaven, I'm assuming you would hope that your son and your wife are there. But what if Kathy's like, my heaven is without TJ?
Well,
how does that work?
I don't know why, but that just made me think of that scene.
I can explain it to you.
That just made me think of that scene in Big Lebowski where they're like, we are nihilists. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
All right. I got my top five. Let me pull them up. Okay. Here's some good ones. And these are serious things I really want to know. Was AIDS made by the government?
Okay. All right.
Like, I want to know. Like, was that like a government
That's
thing?
a good
Would
one.
that be
How much?
Would you like the same as COVID? Was COVID?
No, look, AIDS purposely made by the government and released on a population.
But aren't there theories that COVID was the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
I think yes, there's theories, but I think it was a lab leak.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to change. I want to change my Bigfoot.
Specifically, though, AIDS is one that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I want to change my Bigfoot one to more just what
Loch Ness?
Well, no, what all did the government like just create as conspiracy?
Okay.
That's what I want.
Was I actually a good dad? I feel like I was a pretty
that's
good
a good
dad.
question.
But I want to know in the long run.
I think you were knowing Doc pretty well, and
Yeah.
Jonathan
I've
turned out
known you
really
since
well.
Doc was a little kid, so I'd say yes. But go ahead.
What's the for some reason I wrote what? Because even when I'm making
What?
notes is the most impactful decision I made to affect the trajectory of my life. Like
That's a good one.
Yeah, what did I do? What
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly. Will any of my seed, like for my kids' kids or grandkids or great grandkids, have any major effect on the world?
Oh yeah. Well, never mind. I was going to make a bad joke.
That's
never
funny.
mind.
Yeah. And the most important one, am I really the biggest my wife ever had?
You did good. TJ wins.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, TJ wins. No, it wasn't really a competition, but TJ wins.
I mean, didn't you get with your wife when she was like 12 and you were like 13?
No, she was 17. I was 18.
Okay, I thought you were even younger. When you look at have you ever seen his wedding photos? He looks like he was 13.
Dude, I was 115 pounds.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
When you got married?
Well, no, when I got married when I was that age, dumbass.
What? Say that again?
Nothing.
No.
I didn't say anything.
What'd you say?
So when I was like that
okay.
age.
Okay, because so I was like, I thought you were saying you've been married before. I was like, that.
No.
I didn't know that.
No.
Okay, I'm with you.
Who's going to marry him?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, apparently his wife or his fiance.
I mean, they ain't married yet.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. All right, that's our top
Facts.
5. TBolt USA top 5. I always enjoy that. Guys, we need to come up with an idea. Email us some ideas for next week. So yeah, sometimes the top 5. Sometimes the top
That's
5
insane.
lists get difficult. Yeah, I know. Does he not? He does not look eight. There's no way.
That's what I could show you a picture
Wow.
when I was 18, 19.
Did you have hair? Like,
Yeah.
okay. I know I make fun of you a lot, but with that stuff, but like, when did you start noticing like the hair thing?
I kind of like, I guess I kind of always knew it was coming because I saw my dad's.
Yeah,
and
same thing. So it's hereditary.
So I kind of knew it was coming,
Yeah.
but about 27,
That's not too bad then.
27, 28.
How old are you now?
34.
Oh, you're older than I thought you were. I thought you were like, I thought you were about 30.
No, I'm 34.
I don't know why I thought you were there. Okay.
The other
So
day.
it's not as bad, right? It's
No,
not
no, it's just, I mean, it's
I mean,
was
I've
just
got
curious.
hair. It's just definitely
Yeah, no,
receding.
I was just
mean,
curious.
I've seen guys with better hair my age. I've seen guys with way worse. So
I'm
I just
pretty
kind of
lucky
take it
that
for what it is.
My dad didn't start losing his hair until he was like almost 70 or whatever.
I always knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
I thought it would be like 36, 37, 38. But like no, like 27, 28.
The other
Boom,
day,
it
I
was
was
gone.
FaceTiming with the grandkids, and you can see yourself in the FaceTime
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. And I would have the phone held down like this, and like I guess my hairline's just afraid of my eyebrows, but it looked like I had a mohawk.
Yeah.
It was just-
That's kind of what mine does too.
Yeah.
But back here,
All right.
this grows perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, 2 more segments before we close out the show. The Barnett clutches. Pick one. Barnett Dirt Digger clutch kits. Have 75 years of experience behind every kit. Engineered for maximum performance, Dirt Digger clutch kits feature friction materials formulated exclusively for Barnett. Get yours at barnettclutches.com and get 10% off with that code VitalMX, all caps. I did not give you a heads up on this one. So Barnett, pick one, or let's go. I have 3 options here. Let's see. Let's do. All right. If we had to live in a world with either zombies or vampires.
Vampires are so lame.
But but you could. But a vampire could make you a
listen,
vampire.
We're gonna go with all the stereotypical
Yeah,
rules
yeah.
apply. So vampires really only come out at night.
Yeah.
Sunlight, garlic, all that stuff. All the
and then
stereotypical.
zombies are like the Walking Dead.
Namely, yeah, they're not the fucking the World War Z that can run 300 miles
See,
an hour. They're
okay,
just like,
but to be fair, if there ever was zombies, it would be like that. They wouldn't
Why?
be like, just slow and
Why?
like easy to kill.
doesn't matter.
It would be like a rabid, like just super freak.
but
like
why?
human thing.
I'm kind of intrigued why you say that. Like, why?
I just think that's how it would be because it would be like
okay, well, you said it like it's a fact, and I'm like,
no,
well,
more like I Am Legend and like World War Z.
all right,
I
well,
think
we're
it
gonna
would
go
be
old
more
school,
like that.
old school,
Like
slow,
Walking Dead, yeah,
Walking
okay.
Dead.
Well, then if that's the case, then yeah, that's all day. That'd be kind of
But you
fun.
could be a vampire. Like that's the only thing
Yeah,
about
like
vampire.
then would you
could-
want to be?
Well,
Like,
yeah, you live forever, bro.
Because a zombie, you don't know you're a zombie. You're just a brain dead.
Yeah.
Just,
And then you can't die. So you think about how fast you can go on a dirt bike when you don't give a.
but you could only race at night.
yeah, and you
Supercross
could
only.
and you could get like thousands of years of experience. You know
Bro,
how
I'm
good you would
telling
be
you.
if you could ride every day.
So we're
for
unanimous on
thousands of years?
vampires.
With vampires. For sure.
No,
And like, I mean, goth chicks are kind of hot sometimes. So
And you can just tell chicks what to do and they listen.
yeah.
the old school Dracula, you
Yeah.
mind control.
Yeah. I'm all about the vampire thing.
No,
now.
I think we all talking about being vampires. You're
Well, I would
Well,
be a
you
vampire.
would probably get, if you're lucky, maybe you don't turn at all. You're just dealing with them. But if you're not lucky,
no.
you're going to turn.
if we're talking slow, like
I'd rather be
classic
a-
zombie movies, like just do it's like slow zombies, I would do that because then I could just like
Because you grew up with Zombieland. You didn't grow up with just grotesque zombie stuff.
yeah,
I'm
like it
no
would be cool.
vampire.
Like me and my buddies would just chill and have a bunch of guns and just go kill zombies and scavenge for food and gas and stuff. I don't know.
All right, well then,
I'd rather do
so
that.
you're changing. You're going to zombies.
I never said vampires.
I thought you did.
No, he
No.
never did.
I said zombies the whole time.
He once
Oh,
again
so
is wrong.
all right.
but now World War Z zombies? No, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. I want to hear your answers. And if you think this is a stupid question, you're stupid.
Oh.
Okay.
I think it's fun, man. Non-moto stuff. I have more fun with this end of the show stuff than Like,
It
I
is
like
my
the moto
favorite
stuff,
part.
but the end of the I look forward to this stuff.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up with the FXR picks for Denver, MotoXpodShow@gmail.com if you want to get involved. Anything else, though, before we hit this last segment? Do you guys have any thoughts that maybe we missed or whatever before we start closing this thing up?
Nope.
Scotty, you good?
Oh, I mean, we had it on.
TCC
I showed the thing, but it sucks for Barcia.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that was one of the news stories, right? Yeah, he's out. Yeah, but
Is this the first? Is this the first year? How many times has he not gotten a podium?
yes, I think it's the first year in a long time. I think that maybe
ever?
the first in his career.
Maybe
I'm
not
sure.
ever.
I don't think it's the first in his career, but definitely the first in 3 or 4 years.
And he's on the chopping block this year.
well, I don't. I think his contract's
he'll go
up.
to.
and
He'll go to.
yeah.
He will. You know the team going to Ducati.
I mean, he
Yes.
maybe,
Sorry.
I think he goes to.
but no, I just meant
Ducati.
like he's not going to be on gas or some Austrian next
I
year.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, FXR picks for Denver. FXR is designed by racers for racers with industry-leading fit, finish, and performance. Progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brands to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. Used by the Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, and many more. FXR's core motor roots. Visit FXRRacing.com or go to your local dealership to see the complete 2025 line. FXR picks for Denver. First things first, I think this is the first time since we've started doing this. Could be wrong. I got all my podium was right.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever any of us have ever hit all three.
I have.
You have. Okay, I remember you getting a couple
Arlington,
right.
I think.
Okay, I remember you getting a couple. I couldn't remember if it was ever all of them.
I've never got any
Well,
of them right.
no.
I hit it this week. And for Denver, I'm going.
Well, what was it? Well, I guess I know who the podium was. Never mind. That was a stupid question.
All right, good. This week I'm switching it up
He's
just a little
whipping
bit.
it. He's whipping it.
Liberty?
He's whipping it.
Fwibbity. Sexton, Webb, J. Coop are my picks. TJ, what you got for Denver?
It's going to be Sexton, Webb, and well, I don't know if anybody can beat Jay Coop.
AP?
Yeah, AP would be a good one.
That who you're gonna go with?
Yeah.
Okay. Scotty?
Deegan.
Okay. Well, he's not racing 450s.
I know. It's just,
So
it's just funny because that's how. It's
Well,
just
I'm just gonna write it down. He said
No,
Deegan.
he said dig it.
Yep.
We're going to
And you
No.
lost.
cover this next week.
No,
Would you like to make a real pick?
Yes, I would.
Digging.
Yeah.
Diggity.
Sexton, J. Coop, Webb.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, guys. Again, MotoXpodShow@gmail.com. Get involved with this stuff for us, please. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Don't forget, there are a number of different little fundraisers going on for Jerry Robin. There's one on Vital MX you can check out. I think Justin Starling might have one on his, like a link on his Instagram. He's doing some stuff. Obviously, Road to Recovery. Those guys are going to be in need, right? That family.
Who do you think wins the privateer race?
That's who we should have picked.
I am going to go. I really think the guys back it down, make sure Chiz wins.
I don't think so.
No.
Because all the money's going to Jerry from Chiz.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
no, those guys will
You
murder.
don't,
If they
you, don't
don't,
think, you don't think that
I'm
there's not. I know, like they're all like
Most of the
bros and
these guys
stuff.
are donating
and this-
portions of their winnings anyway.
I know, but this,
they're just
but
doing that
this,
so they can feel good about themselves.
you don't think that there's not one guy out there that I mean, this kind of sounds messed up, but you don't think there's one guy that like wasn't like friends with Jerry or didn't like
Yeah,
Jerry?
but could that one guy even beat Chiz anyway?
Well, if they all let him go, they
But
could.
who do you think's going to win? Just a straight up race out of everybody. Think it'd be Chiz?
Well, it's interesting because it's like the better you do in the first one, like the kind of more you're screwed in the second one.
It's more the average, right? Like
Yeah.
who's going to average the best
Is-
overall?
did-
Even though
Grant make
Justin or Josh Hill won,
Let me
he
look
went
and
like
see.
he went
You
like
guys talk for- Let me see
112.
if I can find the list.
I think
111 or
I
112.
think if Grant Harlan made it in, I think
Is
he
he in?
wins.
I'd have to see a list.
Because Grant can throw it down and like when
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't.
so-
I think Grant's been too good to be in it. Is he in it?
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if he because he's been making. But
I don't know. He has gotten fifth and sixth in LCQs a few times.
quite a few times. Exactly.
Yeah, so he probably is in it.
Keep talking about it, whatever. 'cause I'm
honestly,
trying to. Here, let's see if I can. Here's the.
That's a good
every,
pick.
Every now and then I play the lottery, and if I ever
I don't know who's all in it.
if I ever win the lottery, I will put $100,000 on third place.
Why?
Just to
Because
make it
can you
interesting.
imagine everybody be
Yeah,
sitting
trying to get third.
yeah,
I'm
third
with you.
place.
On top of whatever they're already getting.
Whatever's
like just
there,
like
100 grand on third place.
No, dude, make it even more. Like make it like 4th or 6th.
Third place,
Yeah.
100 grand.
Yeah.
Like everybody's gonna be taking dives.
That would be, yeah.
Okay, I think this is it. So Rodbell, Meshi, Lane, Carnow, Schlosser, Starling, Welton, Lesher, Williams, Rodriguez, Leitzel, Harlan, Robin, Morans, Pauly, Kozad, Greco.
Harlan's a good pick.
Harlan,
Harlan or Starling's a good pick.
Starling would be a good pick.
Okay, that's the final point. So out of that group, and then Chiz is obviously riding for Robin. Man, yeah, Harlan or Chiz.
You said
I'll go Chiz.
Yeah,
You said Harrison's in there too?
and Hardy's in it.
Oh,
Hardy is in.
oh
this
yeah,
race.
that's
Oh yeah, you know what? This doesn't have the
wild cards.
The wild cards. So,
Yeah, Hardy is
But you
in
know
there.
what? I'm gonna go Harlan
yeah.
or
There's
Chiz.
no way. There's no way Hardy finishes both races.
Wow.
I mean, am I wrong? I thought
hope
y'all
so.
would agree
Hey,
with that.
dude, can you at least tell everybody and me where I can watch this?
Yeah, YouTube. Or
Okay,
Moto.
YouTube. I'm just gonna open YouTube.
Well,
up.
I think it's on Verb.
Is it gonna
Verb
be
is
live?
like I think Verb is the one they're gonna help stream it. So I bet it'll be on theirs. Maybe Pulp Mix.
Even if I usually don't get a chance to watch it live because it's usually in the middle of the day, so I've always been able to find it on YouTube and post.
Yeah, it'll be. I just don't remember
Just
whose
type
YouTube
in
channel,
Pulp
but
LCQ race and it usually pops up.
you got to work Friday.
Friday night.
Friday night. Got you.
Okay. I want to thank Maximus Vohland, Alexander Fedortsov, Carlen Gardner. I want to thank you two jabronis,
Jabronis, that's a good word.
our listeners,
word.
our viewers.
Freaking jabronis.
I want to thank Race Tech and Yamaha Motor USA, X-Brand Goggles, Evans Coolant, Guts Racing, TBolt USA, Barnett Clutches, ETS Racing Fuels, FXR, ProX. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back next week on the show. We are out.